Hello, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
It's week 4. We're talking college football. Please watch, enjoy, like, subscribe, and the more of you subscribe, the less I let him talk.
Mm-hmm.
Real or not real is the question.
You know what I have every now and then, and every time I have it, it's delightful, and I love it, but I never order it for myself?
What?
Lemonade.
Oh, lemonade's so
I
good.
just have a really good lemonade.
Homemade lemonade.
Yeah, but I don't like go places and say, oh, well, I'm having lemonade.
Well, where do you order a lemonade other than like Chick-fil-A?
Barbecue.
Well, sometimes lemonade's good. Any outdoor festival.
Definitely. I'm saying like
Outdoor
in the
festivals.
city. Like in the city, like if you're thinking like, oh, I need
Chick-fil-A
a...
has lemonade.
They have good lemonade,
Jack
too.
doesn't listen.
But Chick-fil-A has sweet tea, though.
Jack doesn't listen to me, does he?
What did you say?
I said the only place I ever order lemonade is Chick-fil-A.
I'm almost certain you didn't say that, by the
I
way.
don't
yes,
think
I
you
did.
said that.
Oh,
I don't
you
think
said
you
it.
said
Yes,
that.
I did.
No, I don't think you mentioned
I
Chick-fil-A.
don't think she said that.
I
She said
swear to God I
Chick-fil-A.
did.
Like,
No,
where else?
the boys are pretty much in lockstep here.
Yep.
You didn't say that.
I can tell you I said it, but you know what? I don't really care.
Really? You
No.
feeling good today?
Because I just know I said it. So don't you gaslight
It's
me.
on recording. We can go back.
Yeah, that's good.
Rewind
but
the tapes.
I don't think Noah knows how to do that.
Check the tapes.
No one knows how to do everything. But you are right. A good lemonade when it's hot outside, or just in general.
You know what? Can
You
we
know-
do this? Hold on. Can we
you
do
know-
this right now? We said we were going to do this the other day. Go ahead.
You know where you can get a really good lemonade?
Where?
The Union Square Market. Like when they have the outdoor market.
Yeah.
I assume you never walk through there. I don't know why you ever would. But if you ever are down in the 14th area, walk through, you get a good lemonade.
Fantastic. Noah, walk your ass on camera real quick.
Yeah.
This is the guy who's made the show look good recently. This is Noah, the producer.
Noah.
He doesn't have to talk. He just has to say, that's Noah, the brand new producer of Unnecessary Roughness.
Way too nice for this group.
Way too nice.
We haven't made him upset yet, which I hope we never do.
Yeah.
But he's you're not in the group text, but in the group text that we have, he's always very happy, and I'm like, I hope one day we don't just make him a disheveled
And it's
human.
nice because before this, Jack was the one who only pressed record, and now Noah just presses record. So it's really good. It's nice to have somebody.
I taught him everything.
just pressing one button.
Yeah, I taught him that.
Yeah.
We're happy to have Noah, and I'm glad that we saw
Shout out Noah.
we saw his face on camera, because I've had people DMing me thinking that Chicks in the Office Noah is now
no,
helping
different
us. I
Noah.
said,
We got our own Noah.
Better Noah,
We got
less
our
of
own-
less of a like complainer.
Oh, I didn't know we had beef with that Noah. But
No, he's my friend.
I know.
It's just
No,
more
I
of a.
know. But we have our own Noah, and he's fantastic.
Yep.
Welcome to
Good
the,
to have
the,
you, Noah.
the team.
Thanks, Brandon.
See how nice.
How's
He's
it
so
going,
nice.
Roughnecks?
Okay, relax.
He's
your
so
mic on?
nice.
Yeah, it is. I think so. I believe so.
Is 5 on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He said,
Then
"What's up,
they hear him.
Roughnecks?" He's
Okay,
so
good,
nice.
super. Okay,
What a nice guy.
you want to do a podcast?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Unnecessary Roughness. It is Barstool's College Football Podcast. It's brought to you by High Noon Hard Seltzer. That's Casey Smith. That's Katie Stats. Jack Mack over here. I'm Brandon Walker.
Why are you talking? It's something.
No
something
idea.
happened.
It is High Noon Hard Seltzer. They got the tailgate pack in front of me, the cranberry, the grapefruit, the pear, and the black cherry. There's incredible flavors throughout this country. The lemon, the lime, the peach, the watermelon, the grapefruit, all of it. Yes.
You know where those
Passion fruit.
You know where those are going to be popping this weekend?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Coming at you.
Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee.
We went last year, and we went to the game, and it was awesome.
They
played Ole Miss last year
down in the Tennessee
went.
hills.
This
Yep.
year they're playing Florida.
Better matchup.
Better matchup.
'Cause you'll probably have some
although
Florida fans here.
Although that game last year was awesome. That was the golf ball game.
By the way, outside of the shoving incident that I am famous for here at Barstool, this was probably the closest I ever got to getting in real trouble at Barstool Sports.
Oh, that's right. This
Yes.
is the show where you rip the helmet and
Only
threw it
2
in
times in my career at Barstool have I been taken into Dave's office and the door shut behind me.
You were taken in for this one?
Yeah, one was the shove, and
Well,
one
that was
was
understandable.
what happened at Tennessee last year when they were playing Ole Miss, and at the end, I smashed an Ole Miss helmet on the ground and threw the remains into the crowd
Sir, you
willy
ripped it in
nilly.
half. You ripped it in half.
I
too.
ripped it in half
I
and,
have a video.
and threw these jagged helmets into the crowd.
I thought it was very manly of you.
It felt manly, but then you realize manliness can sometimes be stupid.
Well, ask Iowa fans about that. What?
I was good.
Oh, thank you. You made a look as if I wasn't supposed to say that.
Well, masculinity can be toxic, right, Jack?
So toxic. Not as toxic as femininity.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. not.
Feminism.
Sound like Andrew Tate.
Oh,
Who's
boy.
Andrew Tate?
Oh God.
Who's he play for?
Yes, he's actually the quarterback for Charlotte.
That's exactly who Andrew Tate would play for.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be the third string quarterback for Charlotte, but he's going to be a coach one day.
It is.
No, I feel like
Where did
Ole
Andrew
Miss.
Tate come from? Yeah, well, he played at Charlotte.
It's gonna be Ole Miss because he screams like, "Do you know who my
No,
dad
but his
is?"
last name, his name's a regular name. Before, if he played at Ole Miss, it would be like, his name would be Tate Andrews.
Yes.
It is Andrew
And with
Tate.
like Reese and
Tate Andrews the third.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, or like the fourth.
Like
or
Bartholomew.
Yeah.
we are at the same place we were last year, the Hill. But there's an announcement this year, which
Last year it was 21 and up.
yes, this year it's 18 and up.
Yep.
So last year it was already packed
So we
and
get
crazy.
them young broads in there this year.
Ew.
Wow. Well, I thought that was fine. I thought that was Noah even made a face.
Noah and Jack can say that. Katie can say that. You and I think, are too old to say that.
I'm
Brandon
not going
will-
to say there's young broads coming. I'm just
Brandon
not
will
gonna
never
I'm just
not
going to say,
say
hey,
that.
if you're 18,
Pull up.
19, 20,
You are,
you're allowed to come.
You are allowed to be there, and also it's not just the normal college football crew. Macrodosing is going to be there, so PFT and the gang. Will Compton will be there,
Mm-hmm.
and Josh Prey will be there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Anyway.
He
I
really
mean,
will.
his team's playing.
Yeah.
You,
So everybody in the company will be there.
Josh
Except
Prey.
except for Jack.
Except for Jack.
well, that's just a running thing now. You could go if you wanted to.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could, yeah, but
Yeah,
it would.
you prefer
But
to
he-
do what you do here.
No, I could go, but then I would be tasked with like giving you high noons or something.
That's what I do. Yep.
Unless she follows us around with a camera.
He does have a very important job. At
Oh.
home.
Oh, by the way, I got to shout out. Josh Prey's going to be there, but we've got to make sure this happens this time. So I'm going to put it on film and on record because last time we were in Knoxville at the same time, he avoided me. So Josh Pate, you will be in
Oh.
Knoxville. If you do not walk up and shake my hand in reverence to me, then you are a coward. A coward.
In reverence.
Yes.
His fans will not pick up on that sarcasm.
I am the king of college
Definitely
football.
not. Never.
And Josh Pate, you will. There's my ring. You have to come kiss my ring in Knoxville.
I'll give you a warmer welcome on that. Well, Casey and I will. Also, speaking of Tennessee, if
I thought you were going to say kiss your feet.
if you're in Tennessee early, come by. We're doing a bunch of social. We'll get you on camera. You'll be on the main Barstool TikTok.
Da, 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 Rocky Top.
That game was
That's
so
the
much
best
fun
song.
last year.
Is there not? I don't know fight song, but like
West
songs?
Virginia's better.
What's their song?
Country Roads. Country Roads, take me home.
Very fair.
That's not their fight song.
West-
To a place
But it's like they're associated, I feel.
I belong. West
West
Virginia. Mountain Mama.
I hate when you guys sing.
Why?
I think
Something
Jump
about
Around
music.
is better.
I don't know. I tweeted out from the Barstool main account as an obvious troll. Is
That's a great
Oregon's
question.
shout? Is Oregon's shout better than Wisconsin's jump around? And the Wisconsin people were not happy that I even
What's the
suggested
better-
that.
Country Roads is very pleasing to the ear without college.
the
I still
better-
think
It's
Rocky
like a-
Top because Country Roads.
Okay,
is-
we're going to put this out to the people. What's the better college football song associated with the team? Country Roads, West Virginia? Or Rocky Top, Tennessee?
At least
It's
Rocky-
close, man. It's close. Rocky,
I think
think
it's very close.
like
At
Rocky-
least Rocky Top's actually associated with their
That's,
with
like-
their state.
Because Rocky Top, I hear Tennessee. Like I
well,
think
the
of the
thing
Vols.
is,
Where
the difference is Tennessee's band plays Rocky Top, like after every touchdown. Only West Virginia's band plays Country
also
Roads.
there's more uses for Country Roads than just West Virginia. Like it's like a white people's anthem.
White national.
White
Yeah,
trash?
I know. I
White
heard
trash?
that.
She
That's
almost
why
did.
I
She
fixed-
almost did.
Like when I say white people anthem, it's like the Journey
Brightside.
songs. It's Wagon Wheel. It's
Mr. Brightside.
Exactly.
Well, just like I don't think you guys picked up on what I was saying. West Virginia, Country Roads is not
It's
about
It's about
West
the western
Virginia.
part of
Right.
Virginia.
No,
right?
it's about Maryland.
I'm sorry, what? How does that work?
Yeah,
It says West Virginia.
I know, but it's technically Maryland.
I don't think that's
It's
right.
true.
It's like when Alabama fans sing Dixieland Delight, a song about Tennessee. That song's about Tennessee. He's rolling down the backwoods, Tennessee byway.
One
Just the whole
arm.
South,
I thought
though.
you hated the song. I thought you hated singing. Now you want to sing along with the champ? Is that what you want
Is
to do?
it- Is it really about Maryland?
Yes.
Damn.
What's the better college football song associated with the team? Country Roads,
I knew it
WVU,
wasn't
Rocky
West
Top,
Virginia,
Tennessee.
but, I think Katie has a good point about like Rocky Top is like the Tennessee song.
Yeah.
Country Roads, if that came on at an outdoor festival, we'll throw that back to what you were talking about. If you were drinking a lemonade and
Yeah.
Country Roads came on, you and I, everyone in the room might think West Virginia, but people who don't like college football would probably still know the song.
It's probably Rocky Top. Rocky Top's more of a football song.
It's like square and rectangle. Like there's more uses.
Yeah, you're right. Rocky Top is known almost exclusively for being the Tennessee Volunteer
Right.
song.
Well, I mean, not really.
Not like in the Deep South. There are people that know the song Rocky Top, but
Well,
in the
Do you
world
guys know
of
who it? Not don't answer this. I know you. Do you know who wrote the song?
Which one?
Rocky Top,
Yeah.
I don't
you
know.
know?
No.
Oh wow, I'm gonna
is it Dolly Parton?
No, it's the Osborne brothers.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't. Okay.
I don't really know much about the Osborne brothers.
I wish we could just play music because I'd like to just.
Nope,
hear those
we
songs.
cannot.
I know.
I didn't say that we could.
Remember
I
when we
just
used
said I
to-
wish we could.
Remember when we used to play Backstreet Boys on this podcast?
No, we didn't play Backstreet Boys. We played NSYNC. I was hanging with the
And-
fellas.
Oh, yeah.
Close
and
enough.
Backstreet Boys, too, no?
Saw you with your boyfriend, Mary Jones. I was hoping that I'd never see you with him. But it's all good because I'm glad that I met him. Okay.
Brandon,
You
this.
got to stay hydrated.
I was going to say, you know what really gets this office going?
Yeah.
A full fridge of cold Body Armor
Yes,
water.
because
Yep.
we want to stay hydrated. We want to stay at our best. If you're not hydrated, you're not at your best. You might think you are, but you're not.
Do you ever
are
get,
not.
like, you know how people get hangry? I don't know what the equivalent,
Hursty.
thirsty. Well,
H-E-R, because you turn into a woman.
Aw.
Herstory.
that was funny. That was funny. Body Armor is the official sports drink and water of Barstool Sports. We all know that. Well, at least Brandon and I are drinking
Yeah, we're
the
watered
just the
out over
sport
here.
water. It's very nice and cold. But the sports drink is all the rave right now because it has the electrolytes, the antioxidants, the B vitamins. But more importantly, Brandon, no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes, but they taste delicious.
They are delicious. It's more than a sports drink. It's the choice for hardworking hydration. All your favorite athletes are drinking them on and off the field. They are available for purchase in the store, in stores everywhere. Anywhere in
Or-
this country, you can find them. Or just go to Amazon, get you some directly.
What did we do without Amazon? I love Amazon. Anyways, you can get Body Armor on Amazon.
We went to the store to buy our body armor.
Now you can just do it from the comfort of your own couch. But Body Armor, thanks for officially hydrating Barstool Sports, and it can hydrate you.
All right, so we've got week 4 of college football coming up. We're going to be in Knoxville, Tennessee, at 1105 Forest Avenue at the Hill Bar and Grill, 1:30 p.m. The Barstool College Football Show takes off, and we're back in the South, and that's where we ought to be.
I am so excited to go to SEC country. I think that this, I mean, like, you know, you said it's a better game. The game last year was really cool, but I do think despite Florida fans kind of getting knocked off their pedestal after week 1, they're going to be hype. Tennessee fans are obviously going to be hype. And we had a great time when we were there as a whole. Like, you like going back to places where not only was the show great,
Yeah.
everything was awesome around it.
Well, it's kind of the centerpiece of college football this week. Game day's going to be there. We're going to be there. I mean, it's. I know you don't love that, but I'm just saying.
No, I do love
Yeah.
that. Oh, I love when I'm
And
just.
listen, Tennessee knows how to do football. Tennessee,
do.
they know how to throw a football game. They know how to have a party. They know how to do all that. And if they win this game, I mean, look out. They're 4-0 and they're feeling pretty good. And they got Alabama coming up in a couple of weeks.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
And there
Also,
are-
we're not even going up against game day.
No, we're not. We're
Game
at
day will
1:30.
be
Yeah.
over, yeah.
Yeah, we're at
You're
1:30.
just going up against
Games
games
in the day.
in the day.
This is a PSA because I know that, you know, people are sometimes curious about this. The live shows are for the live audience and the social clips.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, students like to party.
You guys get a lot. Like if you're watching on your TVs, you can tune into. It's a very common thing. Like you're on your computer too. You can watch on YouTube. It's very like I would suggest anybody do it. That happens
Yeah.
all the time.
I've gotten, the reason I bring that up is I've gotten a couple DMs. More so when we were in Iowa. Like, why are you guys doing this at this time? We've always done it. But I like it. It's 2 hours before the game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
2 hours. It's perfect. Oh no, what's wrong? Are you gonna sneeze?
Sneeze, bless
Look at
you.
the light.
Don't sneeze in your hand.
Sneeze into your shoulder.
Damn, you almost choked yourself going like this.
Okay. All right. Oh, well. All right. So we've got through 782 votes.
Oh, I'm gonna go retweet it.
Country Roads getting 66% of the votes. Country Roads walking the dog on Rocky Top.
How much of that do you think it's
Anti-Tennessee people?
yes?
Maybe.
Because you do have to take these polls into consideration
Right.
when we
No
do this.
Alabama fans, no Florida fans, no Georgia fans are voting for Rocky Top.
No.
So, and I don't know that exists with. I mean, no Pitt fans would vote
Oh,
for
you have
Country
way more
Roads.
votes than that, by the way.
Well, it was just 7-0.
It's at 1,300 now.
Well, it's going fast. I've got a very active 12-28, and it's still 66%, 34%.
Yeah, you definitely have to take the number into consideration of how many people would probably, if they had truth serum, say Rocky Top, but SEC fans hating Tennessee.
It's time to say we're going to play a game of real or not real, but it's not really real or not real because when we talk about these teams individually, I want to get more into that. I don't want to just say real, not real. I want to say, what do we think their ceiling might be? What can they matter at the end? Because there's a lot of 3-0 teams out there right now, a lot of undefeated teams left. And then we're also going to talk about, of the teams with a loss already, who has the best chance of standing tall near the end of the season? Who has a chance to really matter, maybe in the top 10 in the playoff discussion later in the season? A lot shorter list there. But let's talk about the 3-0 teams. We're also going to get to the news items. Actually, let's start with the news item because I want to start in the state of Oklahoma. Bedlam is going to be no more. Bedlam will not continue once Oklahoma leaves for the SEC. Both ADs confirm this. This is just where business and football collide and create situations that nobody really wants, but nobody's either smart enough, brave enough, or practical enough to step up and stop. Oklahoma going to the SEC, they will no longer play their in-state rival, Oklahoma State. I don't think anybody in college football wants that.
No, I was actually surprised. I tweeted it out today. I was surprised at some of the reactions from mostly Oklahoma State fans. Like, we don't want to play OU. They're leaving us. I saw some people saying, they're putting us in a bad spot financially, which I'm going to be honest, it's not Oklahoma's job to make Oklahoma State financially sound.
They are a public institution.
They are, but I mean, if Oklahoma State's holding it against them because of the financial difference in the SEC, I did see Oklahoma State fans saying like, well, they pulled the old, well, we're scheduled non-conference through 2040 or whatever. Like we don't have any room. That's just not true. These non-conference games can be canceled all the time. We've seen it. Like we talked about it with when you went on your rant about Michigan. Like these games can be canceled. This could absolutely continue to happen if they wanted it to. But we all know how this ends up. Eventually, both fan bases will want to play the game. But in the immediate aftermath, there's going to be some pettiness.
The only thing is you do have to pay money to cancel those games. Like you still have to pay $1 million to Central Michigan if you don't want to pay it, which is something to consider.
It is, but I mean I do think that money gets paid a lot, so I don't know that I worry about that as much. Bedlam is one of those rivalry games that's just kind of the bedrock of college football. Like November, and they move it around the schedule a lot. It's not always the last week of November. It's not always whatever. But
so great.
It's a fun game. It's two teams that hate each other that are going to score points. Last year it was. I mean, what was it? 12 hours after Bedlam, Lincoln Riley was on a plane headed to
and right after he said that he was not going to take the LSU job.
Like shit happens.
Which was true.
Well, that was true.
Yeah,
he was not going to take the LSU
He's
job.
playing chess. When you put out the college football rivalries, I don't remember. Did you have Bedlam on there?
I don't think I did because, well, I might have, but I don't think I did because I was preparing for this eventuality. I mean, I thought we had already decided they weren't going to play.
Well, they definitely had been talking about it. I mean, Mike Gundy said it, months ago that he didn't want to. Another thing that I've been seeing, and this is where I think, because none of us went to OU or Oklahoma State and we're just college football fans, that I was seeing people saying, well, it's not really a rivalry because if you look at the all-time record, OU does absolutely destroy Oklahoma State.
Right.
But to me, that doesn't matter because I'm not an OU fan. I'm not an Oklahoma State fan. Bedlam itself is a game that I look forward to every year, just like I look forward to Ohio State, Michigan. I look forward to the Red River Shootout. Teams that I like to see play each other, and Bedlam is one of those games. I don't care what the all-time record is.
Well, so here's the thing. You can't have your cake and you can't bake your cake and eat it too, or
just
whatever?
have your cake and eat it too, yeah.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
And you definitely can have your cake.
Yeah.
and eat it too.
Yeah, I was about to
Cake's
say
delicious.
you can definitely have it.
But
and
that's
eat
saying
it.
Right. You
we're
can't have
all
both things.
we're all for conference realignment. There's casualties.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And we're all for college football playoff expansion. There's going to be casualties from that. So, welcome. This is what happens. We can't have everything. And it's unfortunate, but it is true.
I kind of agree with this because in the SEC, I think there's some things holding up some conference realignment, or like Tennessee doesn't want to give up their rivalry to Alabama. Like, why do I care? Tennessee wants to pretend like they're rivals with Alabama. That's bullshit. They shouldn't hold up a conference based on that. It's one of the unfortunate realities. If the sport's going to evolve, it's going to evolve away from some bad things, and occasionally it's going to evolve away from some good things.
How did, and I don't remember, I mean, with Florida and Florida State, but I mean, that clearly, they're playing that every single year. Why?
Yeah, well, like
They've
Florida,
always been the SEC, ACC.
Right, but I'm saying like they've never had an issue with like the in-state.
No, but it's listen.
They're both public schools.
There's a split here. There's a split here. Like they are both. I mean, they're part of the Oklahoma school system, right? They're both Oklahoma school system, and now Oklahoma's going to take more money. So it does, like the legislatures of these states are made up of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State people, and they get really political and really
Definitely.
crazy and really.
But
so
it just never mattered in Florida because they
But
were always in separate
Florida and Florida
conferences.
State
they were just always
That's
like
what I'm
that.
saying.
They
Like,
were
so I'm
al-
saying like the
right.
state legislature never had to get involved with it
Well,
because
no.
they were always,
It was just there was no divorce. There was never a divorce.
Okay.
They were like neighbors that would have barbecues together every year.
And
I just-
and that's
'cause I
fine.
know-
But
I know-
these were family members
Right.
that are now going their separate ways. One's going with dad and all his money down south, and one's staying with mama in Oklahoma.
So it's just the state legislature gets involved whenever there's a divorce, not just because it's the two schools playing each other. That was my question.
The state legislator here is more concerned with the overall health of both schools. So Oklahoma leaving Oklahoma State affects Oklahoma State, but in theory, the state will end up making more money because Oklahoma is going to the SEC. That being said, there is the discussion that it's like, wait a second, if we lose both of them in the same conference, are we gaining something by losing another thing, which you could possibly see happening with Oklahoma State? I don't think it will drop off massively, but you could see it going to the route of more of a, I don't know, not as big of a deal.
Well, let's talk about less past the surface, okay? Oklahoma State's not going to play Oklahoma. Oklahoma's not going to play Oklahoma State. So who becomes – Oklahoma's got Texas. So they'll be fine in the rival department playing in the SEC.
Especially if they go to the pods.
Who becomes Oklahoma State's big game every year, their rivalry game every year? I don't know the answer to that question.
Baylor's there, TCU.
Texas Tech.
Yeah, but Baylor and
Either.
TCU have each other.
Tech?
How do you create hatred with Tech? How do you create that?
You don't.
Kansas
don't.
State
You
maybe,
don't.
but Kansas State has Kansas. Like it's weird. It's gonna, but that will evolve in itself. Rivalries will come out organically,
But they're forced.
and stuff like that. Now, how long do you guys think they're gonna not play?
I think
I don't
that-
think it's forever. I think maybe
I
we'll
don't-
go 10 years and they'll
10.
figure out.
Yeah, it's kind of like we saw Pitt, West Virginia come back. We saw Notre Dame, Michigan come back. There's a lot of things that'll happen.
It'll be the ebbs and flows of, right now, and again, we're sitting in New York, we're not in those rooms, but it appears that it's Oklahoma State saying no. I know Oklahoma has reportedly offered, however long of a contract they want. They're saying no. The pendulum will swing, and eventually Oklahoma State will want to play Oklahoma. If history repeats itself, Oklahoma will probably say no, and then it eventually, like the state, going back to the legislature, it will get involved. That's why I'm wondering the money, with Florida and Florida State has, because they're in different conferences. Like I would feel like you're bringing more money into the state if that's happening. But I don't know. I just think we saw it. Jack just brought it up with West Virginia and Pitt. How awesome that was for that to come back, and how much they still hate each other despite playing.
Even then, that's a big
10
difference.
years.
West Virginia lives in West Virginia. Pitt
Yeah.
lives in
Also, if
Pennsylvania.
you're-
And these people go to church together. These people go to school together. These people go to work together. Like it's a weird split up. And it's even weirder than Texas and Texas A&M because that's a huge, gigantic state. The fan bases are spread out more. These people are right on top of each
Now,
other.
Why you got to make it about A&M, huh?
Because that's a very good example,
I'm joking.
a good recent
I'm
example.
joking.
If you are Oklahoma too, it's like if you agree to continuing Bedlam, you're giving up a massive money-making opportunity once every 2 years because you give away a home game. So that's why if you're Oklahoma, it's like, no, I'd rather play.
And their schedule's
I'd
gonna be
rather
tough
play-
enough.
Yeah, it's tough enough, and I'd rather play, I don't know, Tulsa at home, and that way I'll have 4 guaranteed home games or 3 guaranteed home games outside of conference play, which makes us, they have 80,000 seats, 85,000 seats.
Now,
The-
Massive money.
As a selfish SEC fan, I wish we could just throw Missouri to the Wolves and bring Oklahoma State with Oklahoma.
In 10 years, we'll probably have Oklahoma State in the SEC because the country will just be divided in half.
Missouri fans
Yeah.
are be mad at you. You're right about there being a blueprint, which is why I said if history is repeating itself. But it's always interesting to see, the team that's leaving to make more money, going to, on paper, the better conference, which the SEC is than the Big 12, that Oklahoma is now doing the same thing that A&M did and saying, like, no, we'll keep playing. Like, this isn't on us. But I do think that it will switch around. And it's all about politics. It's all about the people's ego. It's everything that's involved. I just think that if you are not in those circles as a college football fan, you want Bedlam to continue. And I know we have to give things up. That's a great point by Jack. We want conference realignment. We want things to evolve. I still don't want to see these all-time rivalries, especially in-state rivalries, go away.
We'll be without it for a while. It'll come back. They'll figure it out.
The bigger
just
question
be-
is, will this
we'll be
podcast
old.
be around when Bedlam comes back?
That's-
Probably
I was
not.
about to say we'll be very old.
I can't imagine.
I
that.
can't
I'll
Brandon
probably
may be a grandfather by then.
I'll be far more successful than all of you, and I'll
Yeah.
probably
You'll
be.
be on a beach
I'll be
somewhere?
on my yacht, and obviously I'm successful because I have a yacht. So
Yeah, I don't
you
think
ha-
you'll be. Yeah.
You think that you would, if you got like super rich, the first thing you would buy would be a yacht?
no, maybe not the first thing.
Yachts are
that'd be-
so expensive.
They're
You
so-
got
yeah.
super rich isn't even the word that you would use for a yacht. You're mega rich.
It's
You-
fuck you money.
Yachts are insane amounts of money.
And a lot
But
of times they're
obviously,
money pits.
I have one, so I mean,
Yeah. Would you get a
Obviously, I've
yacht or a
reached-
plane
A
first?
bathtub toy doesn't count.
I'd rather have a plane than a yacht.
Me too.
And planes are cheaper, I think, but the oil is what you have to. I don't know.
What's the saying? It's like the best boat to have is the boat that your friend owns or something like that.
Well,
That's-
that's an awful saying.
At 6,100 votes.
It is a saying though, I think.
I know. No, it is.
It is,
At 6,100 votes through 16 minutes, Country Roads still with 65% of the vote. Rocky Top, Tennessee, 35% of the vote. It's a dog walking.
I feel like because Tennessee fans have probably made a lot of enemies online.
That might be it, but Tennessee fans are trying to rally the troops on Twitter.
Nothing like a
Big
good
T.
poll. Nothing
Yeah.
like a good poll to get the
That's how
fan
you got
bases
pregnant.
going.
Um,
Oh boy.
all right.
By the way, I allowed you to make a real or not real joke without talking about boobs because I know you love boobs.
Oh,
Real or not real is like a game that you would play looking at like the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. If we talked about those things.
I mean, if you just let that happen naturally, I was definitely going to make that joke eventually on this
you
show.
didn't though.
I didn't, but I was going to get there. We just
You
started.
were?
Probably. Yeah. Can I say the words real or not real without eventually
That's
thinking
what I
about
was so confused about. I let you go the whole segment, and then you even said like stand at attention, and I was just like, wow,
I'm
Brandon's
such
maturing.
a big fan of titties.
Brandon's growing up. Look at that maturity.
Yep. So let's cruise on through the news, and then we're going to get to our 3-0 teams in just a minute.
Boy.
You know what's the most shocking about this New York Post story that says Beyond Meat COO accused of biting man's nose outside Arkansas football stadium?
What?
Most shocking thing about this Beyond Meat COO accused of biting man's nose outside Arkansas football stadium to me is the fact that the Beyond Meat, which is plant-based meat,
Yes.
CEO is an Arkansas guy. That doesn't seem like a very Arkansas
No,
thing.
these people that sell the stuff and the bugs and whatnot for
Yeah.
you to eat, they don't eat it themselves.
But I'm not
That's
e-
like
I'm
Mark
not e-
Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg's not on Facebook.
I'm not eating the bugs.
I know you're not, but what I'm saying is it's not surprising when you consider the fact that they just sell you something so knowing
gonna
it's
eat the
bad for
bugs?
you, and then you don't do it.
Are the bugs healthy?
They're going to tell you they're healthy.
protein.
Probably not.
Yeah, they're gonna save the world. I've heard.
You know what? I will say I agree with you with that because Arkansas does not seem like a place that this would happen. I will take it even further. The man in that photo does not look like he would be the Beyond Meat COO.
No, he does not.
He
looks
would
like
work for
he.
Omaha Steaks.
No, he looks like he coaches linebackers at Fayetteville Middle.
Yeah, he doesn't. He looks like a man that loves his steak rare.
Oh
Rare,
yeah,
like
yeah.
bleeding
oh
on the
yeah,
plate.
yeah. No. That guy eats a lot of meat.
It is funny that Arkansas fans wear the pig or
Yeah.
on their nose, and this guy ended up. It's like the simulation's broken. Like they actually bit the
That
nose.
guy goes to a restaurant and orders turf and turf.
That man's
That's a-
traps like are just full of beef.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
This is the Onion article, but it's not the Onion.
Yeah.
And the picture makes it even worse.
You think any Arkansas fans were like reading this?
By the way,
like,
Beyond Meat,
Okay.
this actually makes a lot of sense because Beyond Meat is about to like go bankrupt, so he's
Really?
probably very stressed.
he's angry. He's high
because
strung right
their
now.
product stinks.
And plus, they were bad against Missouri State.
Yeah, their product stinks. People like to eat beef, shocker. And 3, people realize that this stuff is not good. And this is why we're not going to eat the bugs. The people are fighting back.
I'm not eating the bugs.
I've never had Beyond Meat. I enjoy meat. I would assume it does not taste like a burger. I don't know. I know that Beyond Meat did something with Dunkin' Donuts at one point.
It did. And they
that-
tried to shove it down our throats. Pause.
Are you okay? By the way, you're getting fired up.
No, it's just like United Nations week. It's the whole thing.
Jack doesn't want to talk about eating the bugs.
I'm not gonna eat the bugs.
I was watching Selling Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, do you ever watch Selling Sunset?
I've not, but I know about it. I know the show.
They're opening one of the guys in it that's just like a random character is opening a mezcal bar, and
Okay.
he had an appetizer of crickets, and as soon as it came on screen, the first thing I thought of was you. Like it was like word association. I was like,
know,
oh,
yeah,
Jack
yeah.
would be so mad if he
Jack.
was watching this right now.
What if in a couple of years we're tailgating? Me and you, we're just going to a game, man. We're going to Alabama, Auburn. It's the Iron Bowl.
If they get those,
And this good old boy calls us over and says, "Hey man, y'all come over here, man. Anytime y'all in my tailgate, you're gonna eat good." And they just have fried crickets.
If they get the SEC
Yeah, I
with
bet.
the bugs, it's
Oh.
over. Like we're
Right,
too
that'll
far
be
to-
that's the last
Nah,
last
I'm going
frontier.
To live in a jungle. Yeah.
Instead of the little Smokies,
Yeah, it's just
it's
grasshoppers.
barbecued crickets.
Yeah,
Just all in the. You got to take a.
actually, if I am gonna eat crickets eventually,
Get
you are gonna have to fry them.
See, I would.
You can fry anything.
You can fry anything and like just pretend like that whatever's in it doesn't matter. But if I'm gonna eat the crickets, you like put them in the middle of like barbecue sauce and hot sauce and heat them up. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty good. Brandon, I was sitting at your desk today while we were prepping for the show,
Yep.
and I noticed something that I wanted to steal off your desk:
What was it?
the cookies and cream protein by
Oh,
Live Pure.
from Live Pure.
I saw it.
I
sitting there
told
and
y'all I
like,
was taking
"Ooh."
that stuff.
I was like, if he's not looking, I might stick it in my purse really quick because I've had it. It's delicious, and it's just the easiest way to get protein in this office.
They have the energizing packs. They have the restoration, the recovery packs. They have the hydrating packs, the whey protein that you can get protein in your body, and it doesn't make you feel bloated. I think that's what the cookies and cream is. It's a protein powder. It's fantastic. Staying hydrated and energized as college football returns and ramps up throughout the season is very, very important. And Live Pure has so many ways to do it.
And the key for these things, and we've tried them on the show. You love the Dreamsicle.
Yeah, let me stop you there, Casey.
Okay. Well, the key
I'm
is
very,
how easy it is. But go
when
ahead.
something comes out, a new product, the way the flavors they give me is very important.
It
I
is.
might not try if you're just going to give me like a fruit punch or just a lazy little thing, but they've got flavors like blue raspberry, lemonade, and once again, can I just scream it from the mountaintops?
it.
They have an orange flavor that tastes like orange dreamsicle, which pound for pound might be the best taste on earth.
Yep.
Also, we mentioned off the top of the show how much we miss lemonade. They've got a lemonade flavor.
They haven't, but can I just talk about orange dreamsicle?
You can talk about
I could
whatever
eat
you
7
want.
boxes of orange dreamsicle, and now I don't have to eat an unhealthy box. I can just taste it from this. Oh my God,
And
this is good for me, and I get to have dreamsicle in my
You
mouth.
get Dreamsicle, and it has amino acids, less sugar, less sodium. It's vegan, it's gluten free, and it actually tastes good, like you said. And what I was gonna say before you got all excited about the Dreamsicle, which you should, is the packets are so easy to take with you everywhere. You don't have to bring a huge bulking bottle. You can just throw them in your purse, your pocket, your fanny pack, whatever. They're huge for tailgates. They're huge for college game days, NFL game days, because they can do everything. They give you energy, they can hydrate, and if you had a big night the night before, they can recover you.
Go to livepure.com. That's LIVPUR.com. No vowels. Well, one vowel, 2 vowels. Never mind. Go to
No
LivePure.
ease, no ease.
No ease. Thank you very much. Go to livepure.com. LIVPUR.com. Use code ROUGH25. Plenty of vowels in there. ROUGH25 for 25% off your order. ROUGH25. LivePure.com. Y'all want to talk about the Colorado letter they wrote to their fans?
I mean,
Well, I guess we have to now. From the desk of Rick George, the director of athletics at Colorado. Like all of you, I've been disappointed to watch our football team struggle this fall, most recently yesterday at Minnesota. I know that our coaches and student athletes are capable of so much more, and that all of you deserve better results. I'm just going to stop right there. Shut the fuck up, dude. So, like they're bad. They're struggling. They're not winning. It's bad. It's not good. The coaches And the players, I guarantee you, are trying. And for you to say, I know that our coaches and student athletes are capable of so much more and you all deserve better results, that's kind of a bullshit thing for an AD to say from on high, isn't it?
It gets worse.
I want you to know that I hear you. I recognize and understood your disappointment and frustration, perhaps even anger. We've not come close to meeting our expectations this season, and we own that. I know that Coach Durrell, our coaching and sports staff, and our student athletes are working hard to get us on track, and with conference play starting this Saturday, we all hope we will enjoy a home victory over UCLA. Regardless of your feelings right now in Colorado football, I encourage you to support our tremendous football student athletes who need your cheers, encouragement, support now more than ever. And here's what he's saying, Rick George at the University of Colorado. And he's saying 4 words without actually saying the 4 words. Do you know what the 4 words are?
We suck right now.
Get fucked.
Okay.
I can't.
Any guess as to what the 4 words he's saying?
Katie was looking so closely. Shut the fuck up.
We're too poor.
It ain't my fault. That's what he's saying. He's saying, fuck, I thought they'd be better than this too, guys. But, hey, we're going to support them, and y'all be right there. But we know they're better than this. I promise you they're better than this. But it ain't my fault. That's what he's saying. If he wrote, Dear Buffalo supporters, it ain't my fault. Go Buffs, Rick George, I wouldn't be shocked.
I also wouldn't be shocked if it was Dear Buffalo supporters, shut the fuck up, Rick George.
Well, no, because he wants to stay their AD.
Oh,
Correct, yes.
He wants people.
He wants to be on the fan side. Be
Without
like, hey, man,
saying-
I listen. They ought to be better than this.
Okay, here's 4 words. He could say, I know we suck.
I know we suck. Yeah, that works. But that.
We ain't doing shit.
But
Here we
he's
go.
not saying, I know we suck. He's saying, I know they suck. He's turning it. He's saying, I know. Listen, I've been disappointed to watch the football team struggle this fall. I know that our coaches and our student athletes are capable of so much more.
Yep.
I know that Group A and Group B are better, but I ain't in either one of those groups. I need y'all to know that.
You all deserve better. Group C,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I can't help what Group A and Group B
There's
do.
4 groups here, guys. The coaches who suck, the players who suck, the fans who deserve better, and me. Okay? That's the 4 groups. That's what he's saying. Rick George.
I found my 4. We
Good
ain't
name.
doing shit.
Huh?
Said my 4 is we ain't doing shit.
We ain't doing
I personally
shit.
liked your 2.
I
Just say you're 2 twice.
Get fucked.
get fucked. Get fucked.
This is a sad story. Minnesota. I want to talk a little bit about Minnesota real quick. PJ Fleck announces that Chris Altman-Bell, who has been there since 1994, he actually came in with Chris Carter. The Gophers will seek a 7th year from the NCAA. Chris Altman-Bell, one of their best receivers, a good receiver, having surgery, will miss the rest of the season. 2nd year in a row that a prime Minnesota offensive player misses the regular season. And because I said that, I want to say this. Mo Ibrahim is big back this year and might be one of the best players in the country, one of the best running backs in the country. He's, I think, 2nd in the nation in rushing yards behind Chase Brown, Illinois, or maybe 3rd. But he's way up there. Ibrahim looks like he has healed, and that terrible injury we saw last year looks like he is back playing football better than ever. So hopefully Chris Altman-Bell does the same thing.
Big game this weekend.
Mo is number 2.
Yeah.
Does that change your
And
outlook?
Mo and if I think Chase Brown's number 1.
Yep.
But Mo Ibrahim has like 7 touchdowns.
7 touchdowns, whereas Chase Brown only has 2.
Yeah, what's Mo Ibrahim's stats so far this year? 3 games played.
He has.
He's averaging 6.93 yards a carry. I know that.
How did you? Oh, I was about to say, if you read that from over there, he's 646 yards, 6.93 per carry, 7 touchdowns, averaging 22, and then per game it's 154 yards.
Yeah, no, he's really good. And,
He's very good.
And I'll have the because list next week, I think. We're going to get through one more week.
What was it, 10?
7.
I was looking to see if I was going to build the because list. So I knew his stats. So I looked up.
Massive game for them.
Does this change
weekend.
you?
Huge.
Does this change your perspective on the game, Minnesota, Michigan State?
Not really. It's a very interesting game. It's going to determine. Michigan State doesn't win this game, things close real quickly for them. So
If they don't win this game.
and Minnesota,
Jack will go nuts.
Minnesota has nothing but air and opportunity in front of them with Purdue losing already, with Nebraska falling apart, with Northwestern falling apart, with Illinois not being very good. Like, everything's in front of Minnesota. If they were to steal a road game at Michigan State, they'd be in real good shape.
Also, just side note, can you imagine playing college football for 7 years? I mean, I know obviously there's a lot of things that go into that. 7 years is a long time.
7 years is a long time.
It's
2022 right now. That means he was in the class of 2016.
that's a long time.
Just for reference and remembering who I know is in the class of 2016, DK Metcalf. A.J. Brown were in the class of 2016.
I was in the class of 2015.
Really?
Yeah.
I was
This guy's been.
I
not the
graduated-
high school class of 2015, were you?
I
Yeah,
was
I
high
was.
school,
You-
2016.
Yeah.
I thought you were older than that.
No, 2015.
How old are you?
25.
I thought you were like 30.
Well,
No, I knew.
Do we do this a lot?
Yeah.
I feel like we've done that
We
before.
haven't done this in
I-
a year.
Okay.
Yeah,
We gotta do this
it's
once a year.
Yeah.
Once a year, he has to be surprised that you're.
No, I'll
24,
show you my
25, 26.
diploma.
You're older than that. I think.
Yeah, no,
I'll show you my diploma.
I don't want to see your
You-
diploma.
You graduated college when?
2019.
You graduated right when I started?
Yes.
You were in-
literally right when you started.
That's right, because I knew you were still in college whenever I started working with you. I just
I
forget.
was when I started working with you. I was in college for another 2 years.
I know,
Remember,
I
I
for-
would sometimes be late to
And
recordings
your class
because I
of-
had tests.
Your class of 98?
88.
Oh, that's right.
So what are you, 54?
Let's not get lost in the plot. Mel Tucker, who coaches quarterbacks, on watching MSU give up nearly 400 yards to Michael Joe Burrow against Michigan State.
Michael
Penix.
Penix.
Hell yeah, I take it personal. I take it all personal. The resume is on the tape. Then he took out his cigar and said, right now I'm a horseshit football coach. Then put it back in and then said, but I'm swaggy.
But that's no.
I put that
don't
in for
do
Jack.
that. He's taking responsibility. He's blaming himself. He's saying, "Hey guys, I sucked. I sucked the other day. It's
And he
my
sucked
fault.
last year too.
We're
but
gonna get it
when's he
fixed."
gonna fix it?
I liked Jack's reenactment.
When's he gonna fix it?
I don't know.
I
Tuck
do
coming.
like
That's
right-
all I can tell you.
If Tuck's coming in the transfer portal as much as he comes in the transfer portal, he should be getting better defensive backs.
Tuck coming. That's all I can tell you.
I love the right now I'm a horseshit football coach because it is one of those things where it's like if you're talking about just like right now I'm a horseshit husband. What can you say back? Right now I'm a horseshit co-host. Like it's like all right, well I can't really combat that because you're basically saying you're terrible.
By the way, I went on record. I don't think he's even close to a horseshit football coach. He's not. If he was a horseshit football coach, he would not be as good as he's been at Michigan State. But
Don't back down now.
no. I mean,
Keep the 70 IQ take.
No, I mean, it's not really his fault. It's the Michigan fans sub 70
Michigan State,
IQ.
Michigan
State sub 70 IQ fans.
But I see what you mean, Jack, the swag behind it. But I just love that quote. I think that's a great quote. We should
Tennessee
use that
fans are starting to make a little dent.
more. Oh.
We're at 8,800 votes through 29 minutes. Country Roads now down to 61%, 39% for Rocky Top, Tennessee. Tennessee fans seem to be rallying the troops. And I didn't make it an hour poll. I made it a 24-hour poll. So God knows how many twists and turns this is going to have.
Oh, this is sad.
Can I say that I didn't really know about this?
Nobody did.
I knew that. Is that true?
I don't think we knew it was a suicide, but we knew it died.
people knew that his son died.
So the Utah State coach Blake Anderson came out talking about his son's suicide over the
Very
last year.
sad.
Now, if you know who Blake Anderson is, he is the coach that lost his wife to cancer
at Arkansas State.
when he was at Arkansas State, and then he just lost his son to suicide. He's a strong man right there.
Yeah, no, it's a very sad story, but also, him coming out and speaking about it. So Cade has the tweet up. It's like almost a 7-minute video. Like those are like just the strength it would take to just get through all of that pain,
Yeah.
let alone being able to speak on it and spread awareness is always, I think, for lack of better terms, it's a really powerful thing to do. It's just so sad.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
So sad.
And with football coaches, we're kind of immune to sadness with them because they seem to lead bulletproof, invincible lives. But these guys are actually human, right? These guys are real guys. These guys are not.
No, they're real human beings with real.
His wife
issues
died
and
of breast cancer in 2019.
It's not been very long.
And it was really brutal on the family, I assume.
Yeah.
And then Georgia had that great the fans in the front row, and I think 2020 to honor her. But then also, people heard about his son dying tragically, but there wasn't a reason given, and oftentimes that does mean something. And he finally talked about it. It's on Utah State's Twitter. I assume it's pinned. It's also on our Twitter if you want to scroll back a little bit if you want to watch it.
This is why, and I mean, it becomes a butt of a joke a lot when people are like, oh, it's okay to not be okay and mental health matters. But like, this hashtag here, mental health matters. Like it is something that, regardless of who you are, you could be battling for many different reasons. So seeing a coach that's overcome so much coming out and talking about it is like, that's a good leader of men too. Like that to me is very, very important.
All right, we've got. Okay. So
I brought that up to Brandon.
Sean Clifford beat out Chad Powers for the QB job this year, who has a striking similarity to Eli Manning.
Yeah,
I'd be lying if I told you I've watched this video.
Oh, it's funny.
it is funny.
Oh, I bet it is.
just
Eli
going
Manning's a
viral.
funny guy.
It's 8 million views and counting.
Eli Manning's a very, very funny
From
guy.
today, right?
Think
Yesterday. Came out yesterday on YouTube.
Well, I got to watch it.
It's good, yeah.
the
James
Man-
Franklin was good in it,
The
too.
Manning brothers being funny is one of the all-time surprises in sports.
The Manning cast is awesome. I know that that's not a hot take whatsoever. Everybody likes the Manning cast, but I have not one time gotten sick of
But
it.
Peyton Manning's this tall, goofy, just regular milquetoast dude, and he's like really fucking funny.
Yeah. The worst part to me of the Manning cast is when they have guests on that aren't funny. Like, it's just like, I'd rather just hear the two of them go back and forth.
Yeah, and it's a shame that they come from the loins of the most overrated quarterback in the
There it is.
history of
You knew it was
sports.
It's a shame that Eli went to
It's a shame that
a
Eli
broken
Manning,
institution.
Eli Manning went to a morally bankrupt institution to throw his college career away. Everybody remembers Peyton Manning and his college career. Nobody remembers Eli because he didn't fucking matter. And good for the next one. Good for the next one for going to a prestigious institution like the University of Texas.
Yeah, I agree.
Spent what $280,000 in one weekend for him.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought that was
Discount.
cheap. I thought that was cheap.
Discount.
I want to know
Yep.
what the ice sculpture was for.
It was just a Longhorn.
When it, which
It
is
was just like their logo.
that's kinda
Longhorn.
sad.
Anytime you can get an ice sculpture of a Longhorn, you got to do it, I think.
I
ice
bet they
sculptures
just
in
have.
general.
I thought they were going. It was an ice sculpture of like
Of
arch.
arch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ice sculptures are awesome. I don't like. They don't really serve a purpose other than just looking cool.
I
Or I,
don't
guess
know
if you
how
do
many
like a
ice
shot
sculptures
luge.
I've been around in my life.
Did you ever do shot luges
Yes,
in
I've
college?
probably only been around like one or two.
I don't know that I've ever been around one, to be honest. I don't know. I've seen them on TV. I don't know that I've ever
Maybe
been
I
around an
haven't
ice
either.
sculpture.
Well, I've gone to like hotels and stuff around the holidays that have them, but I don't know if ice luges are even still a thing post COVID. Did you guys do those in college?
What's an ice luge?
I
It's
wasn't.
a huge block.
Last time
I
I've
wasn't
done an
fun
ice
enough in
luge
college.
was
What y'all talking about?
2019.
You don't know what ice
Christmas
luge is?
party.
I
So-
clearly don't.
Oh,
What?
This Christmas party, Barstool
Yeah,
Sports.
Barstool.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me what it
I'm
is.
finding
so
the video.
So an ice luge is like sometimes it's just a block of ice with like a little tunnel dug out in the middle or in the front, and then you put liquor on the top of it, and then you drink it at the bottom.
I don't understand the point
I
of
guess
it.
you know what?
Right? Why not just drink
Because it
in
makes
cups?
because it's it's one of those novelty drinking
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
One
yeah.
and two, it does make the liquor obviously very cold. I have been to weddings where they've had these, but they actually like somebody's serving it to you with a shot glass in it. So I'm sure those still exist. The idea of everybody putting their mouths in the exact same spot on an ice luge is probably.
I mean, that guy's just eating ass.
Oh yeah, they have. You know what they? You know where they do them a lot, and I think I've seen a picture of Joey. Is on cruises. They'll have
That makes sense.
penis luges.
No, nope. Just the thought of that.
Pause.
Look at that.
Oh!
See, I told you.
Oh, that guy's
That
swollen.
guy's yeah. And you know what else I've seen? You would like this when they come out of the nipples.
Now that's a little better. Could I see that?
Whenever you turn 50,
Pour
we'll
at
get you
the
a
hip,
booby.
drink at the tip.
We'll get you an ice luge of boobs.
Here come the Vols.
Uh-oh.
They cut it to 60-40. I write out 10,000 votes.
I really like just putting pictures of the penis.
Yeah,
luge.
All right,
I
let's
should have
talk
known. I
col-
should have known Katie would.
Let's talk college
I like
football.
to see that they're uncomfortable. It's
We
fun.
are 3 games into the season. There are some teams who are still undefeated. There are some teams that have lost, and I want to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff right now. I want to not the shaft.
I know. I don't know why everything you say is a sexual innuendo to me today.
Okay. So I want to separate everybody. Now, I want to go through the 3-0 teams and not just say real or not real, but say some really what we really think about these teams and what they might think. Now, if we don't get through a whole lot, that's fine, but we'll see. Now, I have cut off the top 5 because I don't think we have to discuss if Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, Michigan, or Oklahoma are real. I think all 5 seem like they are going to be in the mix towards the end of the season.
When we were sitting down doing this list, originally it was Georgia, Ohio State, Bama, and Michigan, and we added Oklahoma. But Mike, I was going to ask you this when we were doing this, but I was like, oh, I'll just wait till we have microphones in our face. What changes? Like, why would you put Oklahoma on this list and not say USC?
That's a good question. I think Oklahoma kind of being there on a year in, year out basis around the top 10, and USC kind of coming This is their first big year in a while, and I don't know. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Really, Oklahoma could be on either list. But
Right. That's what. I didn't want to say it when we were going over the teams because I was like, I'll wait. But then I felt like once you add Oklahoma, it's one of those like if you invite one friend and then you have to invite another friend and another friend, because I know how high you are on Texas. So I was just curious what your thought process was on that.
Well, let's start with the 3-0.
We forgot to talk about something.
Oh.
What?
I mean, Herm Edwards got fired.
Oh.
He did.
On the field.
Hey, I don't think he got fired on the field.
I know, but the video.
It
the
looked.
video went
I think
viral.
he was telling him, Coach, we're going to catch up later or something like that.
The video leads you to believe that it happened, but obviously that would be crazy.
Herm Edwards got fired. Herm Edwards, one of the weirder hires in the last few years. He came out of nowhere to get hired. I actually liked the hire at first, and it seemed like there were good things happening early in his tenure. And then it all fell apart. They got in trouble off the field. There were some questions about what he was doing off the field. They end up losing to Eastern Michigan the other night. Arizona State fires Herm Edwards. They are the second to the coaching buffet. They are behind. They're holding their tray, and they're right behind Nebraska. It's got a big tray, but they're right behind Nebraska now. Will they get past in the line? Maybe. Maybe Auburn will just come in and say, hey, I'm going first. But
They have looming NCAA investigations.
they do, but generally when you fire a coach, the NCAA is going to come down a little bit lightly. Especially like Jeremy Pruitt had all kind of shit at Tennessee. Tennessee showed him the door, and not much is going to happen to Tennessee.
And they fired all the guys that were
Yeah.
really deep into what they did was they recruited when it was not legal
When
to
we were
recruit
shut
during
down as a
COVID.
country, yeah.
Where would you rank Arizona State as a job? Top 50? Probably, right? In that
I think it would
30,
be.
50 range?
I think anything past like 30 is all the same.
Yep.
I don't think they're like a bottom tier job.
No.
Like I don't know who would that. I mean Vanderbilt maybe.
Do you think it depends on if they stay in the Pac-12 or if Arizona State goes to the Big 12?
No, I think Arizona State's probably going to stay around the same level they're at. They're at a place where you're going to need to get a unique coach. You're going to need to get a coach who has a little bit of quirk to him that can go somewhere and win. But people can win there, and
I mean, they almost they had one of the closest to national championships ever,
Right.
And then had that in the Rose Bowl. Who was it against? Ohio State.
yeah, Jake Plummer, right?
Jake Plummer, and they just fell apart in the last minute or two. But people can win there, and I mean,
You can. I believe you can win anywhere, but this is a place that's going to be more of a challenge to win at than say USC.
Yes, I also think, just the Herm Edwards, the story and the way he ended up there. I mean, the fact that they could get Herm Edwards says that it's not a horrible job because. Go ahead.
No, well, this isn't tied into what you're saying, so I'm going to let you
Oh,
finish.
no, I was just going to say, like, there's clearly some sort of pull to get.
Well, it's a great place.
Yeah,
It's a great place, and if you were a single man, I would imagine it would be an incredible place.
I don't even think it's imagine. I think we know that it's an incredible place.
But my question is about college football at large. Have we evolved in the coaching world to where now with the transfer portal, with NIL, with everything changing about coaching, are we now just in an era where time really doesn't matter, where we're not going to wait till the end of the year, or we're going to get coaches fired all year? Because now we're in week 3. We've already had 2 coaches fired. Are we going to get coaches fired all year? Are people racing to the line? Because used to, 10 years ago, firing day was the day after the season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not the case anymore. So are we just going to go earlier and earlier and earlier? Will you ever see a guy fired after the opener?
It depends on how hot his
Scott
seat
Frost was fired after their 3rd game.
It goes back to your buyout point, somewhat.
Somewhat.
I think that the transfer portal obviously helps a little bit because you want guys to come in and everything else. But I think that money is just, money's never been an issue in college football. We know that.
Well,
but it's definitely not an issue now.
Here's the thing. The transfer portal can provide such a quick fix for coaches that if you have a bad season one year and your AD or your administration thinks, okay, well, he's got to fix it, and then you go out and you're not good in September of the following year, they know that you didn't go out and add enough, and they just already know, so they fire you and they move on. And plus, if you go ahead and get your coach hired early in the process, like right after the season, he can get to work on the transfer portal.
Exactly.
So
It does change the
it
game.
might become a race, because the quicker you hire a coach, the better off you are in this world.
And you know, it's the race to get the best guy, as it always has been. But now, because the leashes, for lack of better terms, are much shorter on, like, you don't get 4 years. You don't get all 4 years a lot of times to get all of your guys.
Question, Deion.
Answer.
Where would you put Deion right now? If this were his last year at Jackson State and somebody's going to take a chance on him and they're going to say, boy, this guy can really get players.
I have a perfect answer.
Oh, I know the answer too. It's easy. That job isn't open yet. But where would you put him right now?
Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
That's it. ATL.
Is that the one you guys were
Put
thinking?
Deion in
Yes.
Atlanta,
Oh,
recruiting
my
in
God.
Atlanta, and it would be lights out.
And
he would get top 5 classes.
The resurgence of, like, how people see Georgia Tech.
I don't know. Again, I don't know how well Deion would coach those top 5 classes. That's to be determined. He knows football. I know that.
But he can get those guys.
But I know he can get guys. I know
Deion
that. And,
Sanders in Atlanta.
yeah, and you know, he's got roots there. That's where he played baseball. That's where he played his first few years of pro
he
football.
could go in there and
He
get
does
the
hate the
best
Falcons
transfer
right
portal
now.
class of all time.
I listen.
Year one.
I'm sure. I mean, Kirby's built out like he's a recruiting juggernaut, but he probably would rather not see Deion.
No,
in
he
Atlanta.
doesn't. No, I think he wants to
definitely.
see Jeff Collins kind of turn it around.
Right,
a little
let's
bit.
see.
Yeah.
I-
I don't know. Give him another year.
If you're watching at the end of the year and Georgia Tech's like 3-8 and they're playing Georgia and Georgia Tech's leading at halftime, Kirby's just sandbagging his ass off.
Oh, yeah. He's like, no, you know what?
And I
think
think
you should
Deion's
stay.
a really smart guy, and I think he's gonna pick and choose. Like if Nebraska throws the bag at him, I wouldn't be surprised if he's just like, nah.
Yeah, no, I
'Cause I don't think
that
he-
doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit.
That
I
doesn't
don't
fit.
think he wants the money. Like I don't think he needs the money. Obviously, everyone needs more money, but like he's probably has a lot of jobs circled, and it's like when this comes open, Florida State looks like it's not coming open for a while, so I think that may open up.
Well,
I mean,
and
Georgia Tech is.
He's whether, you know, I mean, obviously we'll see, but he did say after everything that's gone on with Florida State, whenever he was rumored for the job a few years ago, the way they handled that,
I don't believe what he said here.
He says he would never take the
Yeah,
Florida
but
State job.
Well, I think that could be water under the bridge very quickly.
I do
Just
too.
one sit down, I think they could settle that, but that's not.
But
That's his
he-
decision, not
he
mine.
does
But
say that publicly.
Georgia
How
Tech is
would
a.
be-
I think
yes.
Georgia Tech is a sleeping giant.
Yes.
They're in Atlanta. Hell, they won a national title in 1990. They had won a national title more recently than Georgia had.
Yes.
As of last year.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a history back all the way back. You know, they're one of the great programs back in the 50s and 60s.
Like you said, he has all the Atlanta ties, and Georgia Tech. We've talked about it with recruiting. I mean, the
They
fact
have the boosters though.
I don't think that's the problem. I don't know if they got the booster network, especially in the state of Georgia,
But
because
think
you would
about
have
it,
to override the Georgia boosters, and you're not going to be able to.
And
do
the big
that.
money of that school is donating towards the actual school, opposed to the athletic
Yeah,
program.
they're giving to the ag department. Yeah, to the mechanical
The,
like,
engineering
the
department.
engineering
Yeah.
department.
if I had to guess, I would think Deion Sanders knows plenty of people with deep pockets that would jump on board
Well,
to be a booster.
But if you're not,
Yeah, but you got
you want to give to your school, not like just
again,
some random.
Kirby
But
can
NIL
probably.
deals, I mean, like, you
Kirby,
think of-
Kirby Smart can probably in his phone has 100 numbers he can call and get $100,000
Definitely.
in 3 seconds, and Deion at Georgia Tech would have 5.
Yeah, but as far as like getting like 5-star recruits or getting guys, like he knows plenty of people with businesses. that
But
would
now
pay
I
bags.
said all that. The motherfucker just got the #1
Right.
recruit in the country to go to Jackson State University.
Exactly. That's
So maybe NIL, he sees a bigger picture than we see.
and he also like you look at all the things that he put into the Jackson State program and how like the facilities and the uniforms and everything. Imagine you go to Atlanta and the people that run
it's a
businesses.
different ball game.
I want to talk to the people that are rolling their eyes right now that we're talking about Deion, because Deion doesn't have a track record of being a great college football coach, and they're saying, oh, he doesn't have this, doesn't have that, doesn't have that. College football is about getting dudes and getting dudes first and foremost,
yeah.
and he can do it. And I think somebody's going to give him a shot based on that.
And he also, people roll their eyes. It's like, oh, well, he works with you guys. He works for Barstool. That's true, but he's still Deion Sanders and made one of and he also made one of the biggest moves in the offseason, getting the switch from Florida State and recruiting.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Travis Hunter. But I mean, just in general, people. I mean, again, we go back to just the storylines that he has. I think Georgia Tech would be a no-brainer. Do you think they've already talked to him?
No, probably not.
I
But
always
maybe.
wonder how that
I do know.
works.
I do believe conversations are already being had with coaches around. Like I think Nebraska's probably already talked to some people.
Urban.
Not Urban, but actual, like they probably already reached out to Matt Campbell's people and
I
stuff
would
like
assume
that.
so, yes. Tom Herman.
I think people are in contact with Matt Rule's agent over there at Carolina.
I mean, they just keep looking worse and worse too.
We have to carry things everywhere. We have key cards, we have IDs, we have credit cards.
You have actual keys.
But you don't want this bulky thing sticking out of your back pocket. You want to be able to go smooth and slickly, and you want to look good. Ridge Wallet. Ridge Wallet is an ultra slim minimalist wallet.
And I was about to
It holds up to 12 cards, has room for cash.
And there's over 30 colors.
They have over 30 colors, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium.
Love a good burnt
Once
titanium.
again, I must say burnt titanium sounds
So,
delicious.
Have you ever been pickpocketed?
No, I'm also 6'5", 270.
How about you?
No, not that I know of.
But
I have a lot of friends who have been.
And here's the thing: the pickpocketing game's changed.
Oh, has it?
There are digital pickpocketers now.
That's right.
But Ridge Wallet is made with RFID blocking technology that protects you from those bad members of our society.
I like how Jack just said, you know what? They're not doing this right. I'm going to do it. And he was right.
He was making sure that we got all the points. But he is right about that happening a lot. It's like people can just come up and like literally scan your purse, scan the back of your jeans, whatever you're wearing. That doesn't happen with Ridge Wallet. Also, we mentioned the keys. They have a key case that helps you organize your keys, up to 2 to 6 keys, but it keeps them in a compact silhouette and fold out, so you never lose your keys. Losing your keys sucks.
There are 6 colors for that, styles including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. Here's what you do. Go to ridge.com, use code UR for unnecessary roughness. UR for 10% off your order at ridge.com, and with every dollar spent on the website before September 30th, you'll be entered to win a brand new upgraded Ford Bronco or $75,000 in cash.
That's 10 days, Brandon. 10 days left
to get in on that Bronco or that money.
Yeah, because it is September 20th.
And get you a good wallet. Ridge Wallet.
Ridge Wallet.
Code UR. All right, here we go. Now, 3-0 teams.
Carolina.
We'll take it wherever we want to. But 3-0 teams. The Clemson Tigers. Is this more like last year's Clemson Tigers, or is this more like previous year's Clemson Tigers? Does this have a playoff ceiling?
There's definitely a playoff ceiling. The reason I would say it's not like previous years is because the ACC is more competitive this year.
Do you think that hurts Clemson or helps them?
I think it helps them if they win, but I think that in the like so many games, especially at the end of Trevor Lawrence's career, we weren't even looking at that game. Like when they played Florida State, we weren't looking at it and being like, well, Florida State's been playing really well. It was kind of like you just chalked it up to if for some reason they lose, catastrophe has happened. I don't think that the ACC is looked at this year that way thus far. So if Clemson beats all of those teams, it's absolutely way better because then it's they can't walk through their conference. If the competition is that much tougher, then I do think that Clemson could fall because they aren't the Clemson they were with Trevor Lawrence.
Well, we're going to know very quickly. The next 2 weeks are going to tell the story about Clemson. They got Wake Forest on the road this Saturday.
And then NC State.
And then they have NC State coming to
That's October.
Coming to Clemson. So we're going to know very, very quickly.
Can you believe that it's October already?
Yeah.
You can?
Yep.
Well, it's not. It's not October
no, but
already.
I mean, the fact that we're saying in the next 2 weeks, like that's crazy to me.
But we're going to know very, very quickly if this Clemson team is real, and I kind of think they are. I think like this is a team that they're going to be in the playoff discussion throughout this season. I
would agree.
But I don't know if that means we're going to be talking about DJ Uiagalelei Clemson, or if eventually October's going to tell it. If he gets out of October the quarterback, I'd be shocked.
Oh.
What do you think?
I think he'll be the quarterback, and then I also think this is the best defense they've had maybe
this
ever.
Is an incredible defense, but I think Cade's breathing down his neck already.
I don't know. I don't think he is, though. It's like he is. You're right. It's a massive storyline without a doubt.
Right.
But I still think DJ. I would be shocked if Clemson. Not shocked, but I put it at a high chance. Clemson's 12-0 at the end of the season with DJ as their quarterback.
Eventually, though, they're going to have to make a choice because DJ,
I think they have.
His eligibility doesn't exhaust this year, and I don't think he's good enough to go into the draft early. So he'll be there next year. So you either lose Cade Klubnik or you make the change in the offseason or you make the change this season. That's with the transfer portal, that decision is coming.
There's also, you talk about the defense. Their defense is so good that it will keep them in a lot of games. They're also DJ is the guy right now. They've made that decision, but we've seen in the past where, even if teams are winning, but the quarterback is not playing up to whoever's standards, whether it be the fans, the boosters, the coaches, they could still make that switch. So it depends on how he plays.
Clemson's done it before.
Yeah, it's an obvious statement.
I mean, guys,
but
like Clemson's put up 41 points, 54 points.
I understand, but
they put up 13 points on Georgia
I'm
Tech
not talking
last
about
year.
in my eyes. I'm not talking about in the stats' eyes. I'm talking about in Clemson's fans' eyes. They are waiting to pull that trigger.
Yeah.
And Clemson's fans don't run the program. But the next 2 weeks, again, they go into Wake Forest and they win that game 35-20, and they beat NC State. They beat NC State 31-10 or whatever. Not having a conversation, but if they won one of those games 17-14, the conversation's coming because they have invested a lot of money in the backup quarterback. They want to see the backup. It's the transfer portal has sped up decisions, and if you don't make that decision, again, that decision's going to get made at some point this season, off season, or next season. Because if DJ comes back next year, Cade's probably not. I would assume.
And not only is it sped it up, it also puts a huge spotlight on, used to be where if guys were winning games, even if the quarterback was doing absolutely nothing other than just being a game manager to win those games, if you were winning, it didn't matter. Now it's like, well, it's making the decision happen a lot quicker, even if they're winning, because if the stats aren't where they think they should be and they think that Cade can do a better job. I mean, we saw it Oklahoma was struggling last year, but we saw it happen at Oklahoma.
Yeah, but they lost though.
They did lose.
That changes things.
They did lose, but those switches can happen very quickly.
Now,
I also don't think
I think
DJ
we're going
Spencer
to have to go a lot faster than that.
Yes, okay. Sorry. Well, Clemson's a different
How
case.
real are the USC Trojans?
I think they're very real. I know that there's a bunch of questions with their defense because they haven't really had to be tested quite yet. Their offense is elite.
Yeah, it's really elite. I do think the Pac-12 is stronger than we anticipated. This Saturday is a massive game for this program.
Huge. Oregon State.
They're at Oregon State. Oregon State's a physical team. Oregon State will rough you up a little bit. I don't think it's a great spot for USC. This is a huge eyeballs game for me in USC. They get through this, and
That's what channel it's on.
If they Pac-12 Network.
Yeah.
If they look impressive, if they go out and win by 3 touchdowns, I don't think anything's stopping this team.
Well,
but I think their best chance this week is to survive.
And they rolled Fresno State, but Jake Hayner obviously got hurt. But they still handled that game, much easier than I think some people thought that it might happen. But
yeah, I think there's a big difference in that game if Jake Hayner doesn't get hurt. Tanner
Definitely.
McKee also their defense, I think, is going to be a massive, massive question. It's like,
yeah.
I think it's Oklahoma defense of old. Jake Hayner and Tanner McKee at Stanford were like dicing up. They give up explosive plays like it's nothing.
Those are also very good quarterbacks, and I don't know how often you're going to play quarterbacks that good in the Pac-12.
They're going to this weekend, which is a shout out to Cade because she was very high on Chase Nolan.
And they have a trip to obviously play Cam Rising at Utah a little bit later. So
I even think Bo Nix can dice them up.
I'm still buying.
That's how low I am on their defense.
Let's zip around. Let's get out of the top 10 and zip around to the Syracuse Orange. 3-0. 3-0 coming off a last-minute win over Purdue. I think that win is going to age beautifully. I think Purdue is a good football team. They also have a win over where they dominated Louisville, who's probably the definition of an average football team. But they are 3-0. Dino Babers. How real is this team?
This is the problem with Syracuse is that as much as I say I don't want other people to do this, I'm about to do it with Syracuse. Every year there's a little bit of buzz with them in preseason, and then even if they start the season well, they always become Syracuse at some point to me.
Well, let me stop you there because I think last season gave us a great blueprint. There were a couple of teams that won early in the ACC, and you thought, well, okay, they won a couple early, but when it gets real, when it gets down to it, they're not going to – that was Wake Forest, who ended up winning 10 games, and it was Pitt, who ended up winning 11 games. Like, these are two teams. Pitt won the league. Like, these are two teams that think, okay, well, it's cute. It's cute until it's not. I can tell you what, they got Virginia coming up. They got Wagner. That's a 5-0. They're going to be 5-0 into a bye week with NC State coming to them after playing Clemson. Oh, it's 2 weeks after playing Clemson. But anyway, they're going to be 5-0 with NC State coming to town.
But then look at that stretch. Then you've got NC
I mean,
State,
at Clemson's not pleasant.
Clemson, Notre Dame, and I know Notre Dame is not as
I'm
good
not
as
sure
we thought
Notre
they
Dame
were,
scares me
but
right now.
Pitt and then Florida State and then Wake Forest.
Yeah, no, they've got the meat of the schedule in front of them. But let's say, do I think they're going 12-0? No. But do I think that team can get out of this season 9-3? I think I might. And that's a hell of a season for Syracuse.
Okay, so you're saying you would take that 6-game stretch right there before Boston College. You would take that and go 3-3 and.
Okay, I've got NC State, Clemson, Notre Dame, Pitt, Florida State, Wake Forest. Yeah, I think I can get to 3-3 out of that group.
How comfortable are you saying that they're going to go bowling?
Extraordinarily comfortable.
Everybody goes bowling.
So
too.
comfortable that if we're a bed, I would just get under the covers right now and go to sleep.
Fair.
And I turn my box fan on. Do y'all sleep with a fan?
Yep. AC.
Yeah, I have to.
AC and
Yeah.
10 blankets.
You know
I'd
what-
rather be absolutely frigid in that room than
You know
ever
what? You
not
know what's
have
sad
air.
about how reliant I am on a fan?
Oh no.
That sometimes my kid or something, I like try to go to sleep, and my kid's laying with my wife, so I'm like, fuck, I gotta go find somewhere to lay. I'll go to a guest bedroom, and I have a fan app on my phone.
Just the sound.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
You
It's my
hear
bedtime fan app.
You know what? Sound machines are legit.
you hear of white noise, but you never hear of fan noise.
Yeah, no, that's my
I mean,
bedtime
it's-
fan.
Does it spin on that?
No, it doesn't spin. It's not
Yeah.
pleasant.
Although I guess you're not staring at your phone.
No, I just turn it on.
No,
and-
box fans are great. I mean, sleeping in the silent room is
Your brain's probably like, wait a second. Why am I hearing this but not feeling it?
yeah.
But
But
that's just that same thing during sex.
I'm very comfortable to say that Syracuse is going to go to a bowl game, and like Jack said, like basically everybody goes at this point. This is truly, and I can be honest, it is like cute, and that might be completely wrong.
That's fine. Good. I'm glad you have that opinion. The Tennessee Volunteers, 3-0, with Florida coming in.
Real. Oh no. Bless you.
God damn.
Bless your big ass.
The Tennessee Volunteers are coming in. They're 3-0. They got Florida. Then it does get tricky for them now. It does get tricky. Let's say I'm gonna set. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start setting a real, not real number. You tell me.
Yes, okay.
You tell me if they're gonna hit the number or not.
Okay.
Okay. Can this team, the Tennessee Volunteers, go 10-2? They've got Florida at home, at LSU. Then they have Alabama at home, UT Martin, Kentucky at home, at Georgia, Missouri, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. Does that team have 10-2 in the tank?
I think so. Yes. I think
They got 10-2
that's a very
in the
high
tank.
ceiling.
I think they got 10-2 in the tank. I also think they got 7-5 in the tank.
Yes.
I would
so
bet
like,
for a 9. You get Alabama, Georgia loss, and then some random.
that's
I mean, not even random though. They play Kentucky. They play at LSU, which trust me, that ain't easy.
I would trust them more to beat Kentucky and then just slip up versus South Carolina.
Oh, I think at LSU is just a terrifying game for them. They got
Oh,
Florida. They
definitely.
got game day this week. They got everything going on. They're in the CBS main game.
They have us
and
this
then,
week.
And then 2 weeks later, they got Alabama, and in between they got to go to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, no, I mean at LSU is, I know we don't know the time yet. At LSU is always scary, regardless of what. I mean, LSU could be over and playing
LSU
at
is
Baton.
not bad as they were the first week.
No, and playing in Baton Rouge is always scary. I still think, I mean, 10-2 is a lofty goal, and that's just assuming that just number 1 and number 2 in the country as we sit, they're going to lose to. But I could see that happening. I do. I really, really like this offense. I like this. The aura around Tennessee is the same that it's been for me since the offseason. And we talked about this, I think it was last week when we talked about real or not real, that where they are in the SEC East is where I expected them to be. And I think they're going to solidify that after Saturday.
How real are the 3-0 Washington Huskies?
Can we pull up their schedule?
Yeah.
I
I mean, obviously Michael Penix looks like the best he's ever played.
Michael Penix's stats right now are stupid.
They are ridiculous.
He's not only just like playing well, like he's putting up numbers.
Yes.
Like he's second in the country in
I
passing
mean,
yards.
you look at their upcoming schedule, and I know UCLA is
They're 3-0 as well.
3-0, but their upcoming schedule doesn't scare me if you're a Washington fan. I mean, they have
I think it might now. Listen, at UCLA is not easy.
no.
Their road games are at UCLA, at Oregon,
But
Cal,
just
and at Washington State. That's not pleasant.
The next 4, so they're 3-0 right now. I think they beat Stanford, I wouldn't be that concerned about that game. At UCLA, another 3-0 team. We'll see what happens after this weekend. But still, I mean, that could potentially be 5-0. They're going to beat Arizona State. They're going to beat Arizona. I mean, that's 7-0 right there.
It's a big.
I'm not
I don't
saying
think
it's
they're
for
beating
sure.
UCLA. I don't think they're beating UCLA.
Okay, so 6-1. That's
Yeah.
still that's still better than I expected them to be with Michael Penix.
It's a tough game because it's at UCLA, but I don't know. I think they're pretty even teams.
The Pac-12 is fascinating to me because let's say we're putting USC at the top right now. I think you can throw Utah, Washington, Oregon State, UCLA in a hat right now, and I don't know.
And
how
Wazoo
much.
too.
Wazoo too. Yeah, Wazoo.
Wazoo's up there.
It's a shame Wazoo's not ranked. 3-0 with a road win at Wisconsin, and they're not ranked. Another embarrassment. But this is, there's 5 teams. I think the Pac-12 has shown some inner strength. Not top level yet, not bottom level. They've got some strength in the middle of their conference that they haven't had in a long time. So
Do you think they're going to self-cannibalize?
that's not a thing, and I don't
It
like the people.
definitely
No,
would.
it's not. It's not. I hate when people say it because every conference plays the same amount of conference games, and they all beat each other. Like there's if there's a team that's good enough to go undefeated, they're good enough to go undefeated. Losing a game to a UCLA is not cannibalizing.
Oregon, I feel every year the top team coming out of the Pac-12 loses to the Stanford. Oregon happened
That's not
last year.
cannibalizing. That's the top team not being good enough.
Yes, fair enough. It's outing it.
There is an element to me where using Alabama as the example because they are. I mean, I know Georgia's there right now, but in the SEC, it's like you see teams in the middle all beating up on each other, but very rarely when Alabama is Alabama do you see them losing to
'Cause they're good.
a random right. But that's
Right.
so in the Pac-12, I see where I understand like the
No,
the
it's
term
not
can-
her. It's not her. I'm not disagreeing with her. I'm disagreeing with the sentiment
Yes.
at large.
Yes,
Because if you're
the Pac-12 is just not good enough in order.
No, the
to,
top teams are not good. It's not
Right.
cannibalization. It's okay. Well, they're just not as good.
Because if Oregon last year, let's say they didn't lose, they didn't get quote unquote self cannibalized, they would have just got destroyed in the playoff. Like you would self
Absolutely.
cannibalize yourself at some point.
And then we've seen the opposite where conferences like when OU has made it and they've just run the table in the Big 12 and then they still get beat really bad in the playoffs. So there are different ways to look at it for sure.
Who's believing in the 3-0 Florida State Seminoles?
I want to.
How define believe?
I have no idea. We're just talking football. I really don't. I can say real or not real. I can say, but is this a year? Will this start last for them, or will this start? Will we look back at this start and say, well, nah, that wasn't
They
real?
could really be 1 and 2, man.
They could definitely, and with the injuries they had last week, I really want to because you've mentioned it too, with the state of Florida being back and Florida State being good is exciting. There's just a little bit of me that's still like, okay, we're coming off of such bad years for Florida State. Is it going to turn around that quick?
But it's not quick though. They've been like digging at this thing, and they finally look like they're winning games they've been losing.
I think that I am. I'm buying it. I
want to buy it.
I want to so bad.
But their schedule is kind of friendly. Like Boston College at home, they could be 5-0 headed to their NC State Clemson stretch. Does everybody go NC State and Clemson back to back? How'd they pull that off?
They just
The ACC
NC State and Clemson just play everybody 5 times. They
just-
actually play 18 games this year, both of them.
NC State and Clemson are just in the middle of everybody's schedule.
So they'll be 4-0.
But what makes you happy if you're a Florida State fan at the end of this season? Does 8-4 make you happy?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to look at your recruiting class too. If you go 8-4 and the fan base is rejuvenized,
Not a word.
Are they beating Florida?
rejuvenized.
Rejuvenated. Rejuvenized, definitely not a word.
I'm gonna just look it up. You can keep going.
No. This is about this now. It's
It's
rejuvenated, not rejuvenized.
I will be honest. I like the word rejuvenized.
It's with a J.
Yeah, it looks like.
Don't move your phone to you.
No, I'm not.
Anyway, I think Florida State will go through ups and downs this year. They'll lose a couple of games, but ultimately the Florida State season,
Doesn't look like a word. I was wrong.
probably more so
It's a
than
good
any
word,
other
though,
team that we're
Jack.
going to talk about.
It should be a word.
Florida State season really comes down to Friday, November 20th,
Mm-hmm.
25th against Florida. If they lose that game, your eyes roll in the back of your head. If you're a Florida State fan, you're like, oh my
I
God.
think they care more about the Miami game.
I certainly, well, yeah, that's
November
one of
5th.
them. But I just kind of chalk that up as a loss at Miami.
Oh, I think that's
November-
going to be a really good game. I would not chalk it up as a loss for them, but it's.
Go ahead.
No, you.
No, go ahead.
I'll go then.
No, I sent you the pass.
No, I'll go.
No. Are we doing a 3-man weave right
No,
now?
I just y'all are playing like
Okay,
monkey
here
in the middle, and I stole the ball.
I got it. If they go 8-4, there are going to be a lot of Florida State fans that say, "Well, Florida State should never be 8-4. We should win 10 games." But they will also be happy because of where they've been in recent past. But to bookend November with Miami and Florida for this season, again, where we're sitting right now in September, is an awesome storyline for the state.
But you have to consider this: if they go 8-4, that means they go 5-4 the rest of the way. They're sitting at 3-0 right now with a win over LSU that they probably didn't count on. So they've got some house money. If they go 8-4, they got to beat Boston College. That's 4. Mm-hmm. They got to beat Georgia Tech. That's 5. They got to beat Louisiana. That's 6.
You can't lose to Syracuse.
You can't lose to Syracuse. Yeah.
But it's at Syracuse.
But Florida State fans can't lose
I don't
to
think there's that many wins on this schedule, to be honest.
Syracuse is ranked by that
Listen to this. Wake Forest at home. You need to win that if you want to be special. Then at NC State, Clemson at home. Those could very well be 2 losses. At Miami and at Syracuse in a row. This could be a good team with a 7-5 finish.
You're coming at it from a non-Florida State fan mindset, which you should. Florida State fans do not lose to Syracuse.
Okay, well that's fine and good, and they can have their little fantasies.
Well, they do though.
They can have their little fantasies, but Syracuse. There's a very good chance Syracuse is a better team than Florida State this year. Now we got to go quickly. This is dragging. Maybe just believe, not believe. Okay, believe, not believe. You ready?
Okay. Yeah,
Kentucky.
yeah. Believe.
No, don't believe.
I believe Kentucky.
I believe them to a point. I think their schedule is built in, and they're tough enough. They're going to win like 9 games, but I don't think they have that 10, 11 win ceiling that their fans think they have. Again, their running game, their offensive line, their defense are very good. Quarterback's just not good enough to break through to the level they think they're going to break through.
I disagree with that. But
he's got 4 interceptions. He's 93rd or something in quarterback rating this year. When he plays better teams, it's not going to be pretty, Jack. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Do not believe.
I think they're about to lose the next 4 games. Do you believe in them? Give them a little love here.
I think they're a little bit better than you guys are leading on.
I'm just going off of just this upcoming week. I don't know if I think they're going to lose
A&M this
4
week.
in a row.
That's it. This is a big measuring stick.
I think they're going to lose
They're
4 in a
definitely.
row.
I mean, they're going to lose Alabama.
Their next 4 games are A&M in neutral site versus Alabama at home, Mississippi State on the road in Starkville.
BYU.
Different animal than, and then they got BYU at BYU. And then they got at Auburn, which they're 0-2 against Auburn. They'll probably beat them because Auburn sucks. But
Here's a question: will Brian Harsin still be at Auburn on October 29th?
I think Brian Harsin won't be here Sunday if they lose to Missouri. I think that he's the next guy to go. If he beats Missouri, we just move the can down the road. Do you believe, not believe in the Oklahoma State Cowboys?
I do not believe.
I think I'm forced to believe in them.
Are they the quietest top
They are
10
a very
ranked?
remarkably quiet team, yes. They are just laying there between that 10 and 12 mark.
9.
They haven't really had to do anything yet. And the Big 12, I don't know that the Big 12's taken shape yet.
I don't think that it has. I just, that's the issue with this believe and not believe is where do I put the ceiling for them? I do not believe they are a top team.
All right,
No.
quickly, we have very many teams. Do you believe in 3-0 Penn State?
Believe.
Yes.
Do you believe in them as much as I believe in them?
I think I'm a step under just because of what else is laying in the Big 12 waiting.
10?
What?
Big 10.
Big 10. What did
It's
I
okay.
say?
You said Big 12.
Oh, Big 10. Because I think I love Michigan. I love Ohio State. Minnesota.
They go to Michigan. They have Minnesota at home. They have Iowa State. They have Ohio State at home.
That's where I can't go full blown
Yeah.
believing in them. But I do think from where I thought they would be versus where they are going into the season, I have to believe in them. I think you are really high on them for a great reason. I'm right underneath.
October 15th is a massive
Gigantic game.
Also, they have a weird.
That'd be such a fun
They have a
game to go
weird
to.
phenomenon
Oh, but you gotta say
under
who-
James Franklin.
You have to say who October 15th is, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Michigan, October 15th is going to be a massive game. But they have a weird phenomenon slipping up against a Big Ten team under James Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
I could see, Saturday, October 1st, would I be, on the floor shocked if Northwestern beat them? Yeah, but James Franklin, last year they lost to Illinois. examples of this.
Well,
Indiana, November 5th, you have to keep an eye on,
I
too.
think there's a game laying there, and there's a trap for them. On October 15th, they go to Michigan. On October 29th, they have
It's
Ohio
not a trap
State.
because it's
Minnesota.
whiteout. It's whiteout.
They have Ohio State at home.
Whiteout. They're not going to.
I don't really care about that.
They do.
They have Minnesota at home between Ohio State and Michigan. That's just impossible to get up for.
I was about to say you want to.
It's the whiteout.
Who
You
cares?
wanna talk about
Why is the
a
whiteout not
stretch.
Ohio State, by the way?
Because they want to win it.
Oh, what a bunch of pussies.
Is that really why?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Oh, look,
That you want to talk about a stretch? That's one hell of a stretch. Which goes back to why I'm not solely believing in them just off the cuff because I mean that stretch
I
right
think
there
what they're
says
going to
everything
do
you need
is
to know.
if they beat Minnesota, James Franklin's going to come out and be like, we're running it back.
it's going to roll it over.
Yep.
Two
and
whiteouts
the
in a
next
row?
2 whiteouts in a row.
All right. Do you believe or not believe in the NC State Wolfpack?
I still believe.
I'm so in on the Wolfpack. I think they got through their embarrassing stretch, and they're about to really impress people. I think they're in the ACC mix all the way to the end. Do you believe or not believe in the Oregon State Beavers?
I do not believe because I think they're going to lose this weekend.
I think they could beat USC. This is the most dangerous spot on USC's schedule.
I don't disagree with that. I
disagree with that.
Well,
Well,
at
Utah-
Utah goes
Utah.
without saying, so I apologize for that. But I think this is not a game where a lot of people are expecting USC to lose, and I think this is danger time.
The
6.5
public-
point
Also,
spread.
Utah's next
The
week.
public play of the week is going to be USC minus 6.5. Like, everyone's going to be on that.
I love Oregon State at
I already
home.
bet Oregon State.
I think they're going to lose to USC. I do.
Oregon State beat the piss out of Boise State. They go on the road. They win at the Horn against a decent Fresno team. They're going to be at home. Like this is the game. This is the game this week that doesn't look right. It's the Washington-Michigan State game of this week. I'm telling you, Oregon State's such a play here.
You think they're going to win?
They're very live to win this game. Yes.
It's so annoying. Half of their stadium doesn't have fans in it, which kind of takes away from the home field advantage for them.
Do you believe, not believe in the 3-0 Wake Forest Demon Deacons?
I do not believe.
I don't.
I think I believe in them. We thought Sam Hartman was going to be out till like October, and he's just back. And
They may get boat race this weekend, man.
they might,
Yep.
but they might also be up like 35-28 going into the fourth quarter of just the most exciting game of all
I
time.
don't think Clemson can score that many
Against Wake
points
Forest, they probably can.
You
They've
know,
scored that many points multiple times this year.
Go.
against bad teams.
Well, Wake
For-
Forest defense is bad.
Yeah, I do.
you
think
know what
that.
I've realized as we're doing this exercise?
Yeah.
You love the ACC this year.
I do.
The
I-
Clemson disrespect on this podcast is
No,
crazy.
I don't think. I
don't-
think you're making that up.
I'm
I haven't
disrespectful
I
of their
haven't
disrespected.
disrespected
offense.
All y'all.
I have
All
not
three.
disrespected Clemson.
And then in 3
Oh, you.
and then 3
Where's
weeks.
the tattoo? You got a mark? You in the cult?
No.
Are you in the cult?
No.
Where's the Dabo? Where's
No,
the
no,
DS?
no, no,
You got a
no,
DS
no,
brand
no,
on
no.
you.
LDS.
And in 3 weeks, y'all gonna be like, "I told you
Why are you
about
talking so
Clemson."
southern? Why are you
You're gonna
talking
be like,
so
I told you
southern?
about Clemson.
He does it
And
every
then I'll be
time.
like, "I told you guys before that,"
Why
and
is
you'll
he-
be like, "Ugh."
You're from Connecticut.
Ugh.
Are you believing, not believing in the 3-0?
Ole Miss Rebels.
Oh, I'm in on those
In.
bad boys.
I'm in. I
Did you
knew
see what
I,
he said about
It
not
stinks,
throwing the ball
but it stinks.
Yeah.
It stinks.
versus Georgia
You're
Tech?
in, aren't you?
But I'm not in. I'll never be in
Well,
on
no,
those
but-
cocksuckers. But,
okay,
they're
like,
good. They're good.
Let's just
They're
pretend.
good. What do you want me to say? They're fucking good.
You know what? I love that we went over this list together because I know what's coming up, and I've just been waiting for how you were going to present Ole Miss. I'm glad. Way to be unbiased.
They're
there.
good. They're good. They're good. They're fine.
And Katie, yes, I did see that.
Lane
when-
Kiffin's a hell of a fucking coach. My name is Brandon Walker, and
Oh,
I'm coming
no.
to you for a very serious conversation today.
No.
This is not a joking matter. This is not something
No.
we're going to play about.
Mm-mm.
I want to talk to you about your penis. Your penis out there listening to me is very, very important to me.
It's important to society.
And penises are important to society. They perform a very vital role in the intercourse of society. So you need to take care of that thing. You need to make sure that thing is lasting because, by the way, you're with a partner. They don't want that thing not working very well.
Facts.
Or working too fast.
They want that penis to last. They want it to stay for the party. Yeah, I hate people that show up to a party and leave in 5 minutes and eating all your food. Let the penis stay to the party, okay? It's a party after all. It's fun.
And
Wait, I haven't even told you about Roman swipes yet. Roman swipes are convenient over-the-counter wipes that are clinically proven to help you last longer in bed. Uniquely formulated to reduce overstimulation without eliminating sensation altogether, which is a concern with this, by the way. I was always like, how do they knock the sensation down? But they don't.
With science.
With science. In a 2019 study, they were proven to increase time to orgasm by more than 4 times.
Woo, that's a lot.
Wow.
To use, just remove the disposable wipe from its discreet pocket-sized packet. They'll send you, it's discreet. Nobody will know what it is if you don't want them to. Wipe on the most sensitive parts of your penis, probably the whole thing, and allow to dry for about 5 minutes. When used as directed, Roman swipes leave no scent or taste, so there's no transfer to your partner. They're safe, effective, and no prescription needed for Roman swipes. All swipes orders include free 2-day shipping and arrive in unmarked packaging. Try today for as little as $2.75 per swipe. And if you're talking about something that is making your happy fun time in bed last longer, $2.75 per swipe is a fucking bargain.
And guess
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Try
Try
try the swipes today with a special offer for just our listeners. Get 20% off your first order at GetRoman.com/Walker. That's GetRoman.com/Walker for 20% off your Roman swipes.
And
And
you know what, Brandon? He's a hell of a coach. He may not be there much longer.
Oh, he's gonna try to get the Auburn job.
also love juice.
You love Jews?
Juice.
Oh, juice.
Well,
So you don't. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Juice. Juice.
Who's
The dog.
wait, wait.
That's the most try-hard Twitter account on Twitter.
who's better,
Lane
Juice,
Kiffin's dog.
Juice or Hudson?
Yeah, you
Hudson.
had a take written down about Juice, but you didn't get to it a few weeks ago. What do you think about Juice?
He
I just
hates
told you,
juice.
this is the most try-hard.
He
I
hates
saw
dogs.
Dad at work. Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
but you know
Who's
that's
tweeting
okay,
that shit from a
it's
dog's
his-
point of view?
I'm sure it's his
But-
children.
Get the fuck out of here.
His
It's
children-
not his fucking kids.
his
Yes,
kids.
it is.
Yes,
they're,
it
they're big on
is.
social.
It is not.
It's it like if
It's
you're
the daughter who.
It's the daughter.
who spent $500 at Zara.
God,
Yes.
I
that's
love
700.
that TikTok.
Yeah.
Are you
Listen.
believing not?
listen. You can hate the kids if you want. You do not hate a beautiful dog like Juice.
Fuck that dog.
No, fuck you.
And you
Fuck
also
that
know
dog.
that Lane's in the dog's life because Lane walked by and there was a room separating it, and Juice saw Lane from
It was
across
so
the room and ran up to
cute.
the window.
Fuck that dog.
It was so
It's so cute.
I like Hudson better though because Hudson.
I-
No,
after
go down.
this
Go
one-
down. No. Look, go, the next one, please. God damn, let me see this week. Okay. I'm just glad we get to play at home this week. Hope you're ready to join me at the game. That's a fucking
cute.
dog tweeting that out.
No, that's a child.
And how often do you think, how hard do you think they had to work to get that dog in that pose? They probably
Not
like
that
jammed the
hard.
dog in there.
Look at that puppy.
Will you stop so I can read the...
I
Okay.
was looking at photos.
Even though I wasn't at the Ole Miss game, I still got to play football, and he's got a football in his mouth.
This is funny.
Yeah, but look at the engagement. People love the dog.
At home and
I got to be honest. As far as a dog tweeting from a football coach's dog, not that much
It's
engagement.
a new account and it's his kids.
Remember,
tweeting it. Imagine
I
Tommy
I don't think
Walker
it's his
did it.
kids. I
Remember the
don't
It
think-
Barstool
is.
Idol application
Maybe
in
his
Georgia
wife.
that was written
Does he
like
have a wife?
I
that
don't
the
know.
was and just
wait,
bad
that is
spelling.
true.
This is
He
at least
doesn't
better.
currently have a wife.
He does not.
Very quickly. Don't
She
stop
exists.
me. Don't stop me. Do you believe in the 3-0 Kansas Jayhawks?
Yes.
They're getting a bit overrated.
I
but,
believe
yeah.
them to be.
Just I'm riding this ride until I
Yeah,
can.
no, you
until,
should.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yes.
can't finish the sentence if I believe them to be bowl eligible. It'll be on the cusp.
This
are.
weekend's a gigantic weekend for that perspective.
I mean,
there-
teams also can win 5 games and be bowl
Are you
eligible now.
believing in the 3-0 North Carolina Tar Heels?
No.
I
Absolutely.
believe in
not.
the fuck both of you. I believe in the offense.
Are you believing in the 3-0 Tulane Green
That's
Wave?
an unreal
cute.
draft.
Are you believing in the 3-0 Tulane Green Wave?
No, but can you read that
They,
graphic?
they beat
please?
Kansas State.
They're pretty good.
Ole Miss has won every game with Juice present on the field. Yay. All right. It's a fucking dog.
No, Tulane very good. Yes, they beat Kansas State. Do I believe in them to do what? That's the question.
I don't know. That's just you guys for.
That's what I'm saying. Bowl eligible.
God damn it! Why do y'all
No.
always do this?
No,
Well,
no,
just
I-
take it for
I knew-
interpretation.
I knew that you get upset. It's okay. No, I do not believe in Tulane.
Do you believe in the
I
3-0?
think that I believe that they may be the Group of 5 New Year's Six Bowl.
Tulane.
Yeah, who else?
That's interesting.
Right for a point. It wasn't Houston. I was on.
BYU,
on that.
they're eligible for that, right?
They're eligible for that. They're
Yeah.
up there, but after this weekend,
UTSA?
Tulane
Are you believing in the 3-0 Duke Blue Devils? Shocking.
No.
3-0. Why not?
It is a shocking 3-0.
Well, they play Kansas this week in one of the most low-key, terrific games ever.
I think Kansas beats them.
3-0 Kansas against 3-0 Duke. That's electric. I'm sorry.
Duke is another one of those teams. It's cute. They're there.
I don't know, but they got a coach now. Like
No, I know.
Cutcliffe. We were so fucking condescending to Cutcliffe. He'd go like 5-7, where we'd be like, "Man, that Cutcliffe's a good coach. He's a good coach." Well, not really. He wasn't doing anything good
Well, they have
over
a
at
good-
Duke.
They hired a good coach here.
And Mike Elko,
Yes.
your former
Mike-
defensive coordinator.
Yes, Mike Elko, good coach. I'm not saying that they're shucks, they're cute because of Mike Elko and this team. I'm saying that that's my preconceived notion when looking
Are
at Duke
you
football.
believing in the 3-0 Iowa State Cyclones?
No.
I'm incomplete because the Big 12 hasn't taken shape. 3-0
Okay.
TCU Horned Frogs.
No.
Yes,
I think
I'm
they
in.
lose this weekend.
The iron skillet. The line flipped completely.
Is TCU
Yeah, I got
favored?
in
Yeah.
early. I got
Oh,
TCU
the-
pick.
Duggan is starting because the other one's injured.
I think they lose to SMU.
Do you believe in the 3-0 Indiana Hoosiers?
No.
No.
So hardcore, no. Do you believe in the 3-0 Maryland Terrapins?
Now that's
I-
interesting.
I
I'm
do.
interested in their
Talia.
offense. I
They,
think their
they
offense
have
could
a
be awesome.
very interesting game this week. They play the Michigan Wolverines in Michigan, which isn't good. Maryland's defense isn't great, but
It's improved.
but it's improved, and they've got the firepower to stay on the field with somebody who can score. Michigan hasn't had the first test this year. Would I be shocked at this being a tie game in the third quarter? I would not. Do you believe in the 3-0?
I would be shocked by that, but I do think that this will be a tiny bit of a wake-up call for Michigan fans by saying, like, you're not going to blow everybody out by 70 points.
3 teams left. Do you believe in 4 teams left? Pick one, the one you believe in. The 3-0 Rutgers, 3-0 Minnesota, 3-0 UCLA, 3-0 Wazoo.
Minnesota.
You forgot an undefeated team.
Who?
James Madison.
Yep,
They're 2-0.
Jack, I'd like you to know I have Coastal Carolina
I was
and
just
James
using the
Madison.
final Power 5 team.
I
I had
know, I
Coastal
know.
right
I have
here.
Coastal and James Madison written
Fair
down.
enough.
I would say Minnesota. You and I both picked Minnesota to come out of that division.
I'd be careful, though, because I think Wazoo's also real.
Yes, but if I had to pick one, you said pick
Now,
one.
out of these 2-1 teams, which team can be standing come playoff time? Can matter? Can be in the mix in the top 10 in November? The Oregon Ducks with 1 loss, the BYU Cougars with 1 loss, the Texas Longhorns with 1 loss, the Texas A&M Aggies with 1 loss, the Utah Utes with 1 loss, the Miami Hurricane with 1 loss, the Michigan State Spartans with 1 loss.
If I had to pick one, gun to
Yes.
my head, I would pick Utah.
I would pick multiple because
Yes.
I think BYU is going to be here.
I know you like Texas.
BYU and Texas are my 2 picks there.
I
Texas A&M schedule's just too hard. Michigan State schedule's just too hard.
I don't
Miami,
believe
I
in
think's
Bo
going.
Nix.
I think they're going 10-2 and winning the ACC.
Michigan State.
Oregon, I think the Pac-12 might eat them a little bit, and Utah, I don't know that I believe in them as much as other people.
I don't believe in Utah. But gun to
Here's
my head.
the thing about
if-
Utah: Florida sucks.
They do suck.
Florida sucks.
It was week 1 though.
All right, fair enough.
It was week 1. We'll see. I just think of I know Texas is really good. I want, you know what? My 2 would be Texas and Utah.
Do we know when Quinn's coming back?
Hughes was like fully practicing. There's 3.
Am I getting healthy Quinn Ewers for Oklahoma game?
Yes, I would think so.
Is that what, 2 weeks?
If I get that,
I think so.
There
look
was
out.
Sark said all 3 quarterbacks.
If I get
practiced
that,
today.
look out.
That was the line.
I mean, the fact that he was
I
fully
can't beat
dressed
Oklahoma with
was-
Hudson Carr, but I can beat him with Quinn Ewers. That's what I think.
Boy, that game's going to be awesome.
It's going to be good.
That is the silver lining of both of those teams. I mean, there's a lot of good reasons they're both going to the SEC, but the fact that we're not losing the Red River Shootout is awesome.
Both of those got a little interesting. Like, I know Kansas State took a lot of shine off. They're going to be embarrassed. I think Oklahoma with an interesting test against Kansas State. I think Texas with an interesting test in Lubbock at Texas Tech. They're embarrassed too, or they just got beat. So Texas Tech might be a tremendous buy low spot right there.
Did you see? So the linebacker for Texas who wears all the sweatbands, the Marion Overshawn.
Yeah.
It came out that he got arrested, but for like literally no weed. It was really dumb, but it's a Texas law, whatever.
It's bullshit.
And then it comes out, it wasn't that he was arrested on Monday. It was that he was arrested back in December.
Yeah.
And they just took him and announced the arrest this week and took him on, like, I guess they have this thing where they take somebody into a jail and they have them
Scared
walk
straight.
around,
Right.
scared straight kind of thing. That's what Demarion did. And then Texas fans are saying, well, the DA in Austin right now is a Texas Tech alum, and it's
If
quite
he's
the timing.
playing, if the DA in Austin's playing football politics with shit like that, he won't be the DA in Austin very
No,
long.
and also, like, again, weed is one of those things, like, I know it's a rule, it's a law. Like, that doesn't scare anybody. I can walk down the street right now and smoke a blunt and no one cares. I mean, not at this current state of my physical being, but you could.
So the SEC's releasing their
They just released week 1.
who cares for next year? That's so far. Boy, no real strong games there.
UMass at Auburn.
No, Ball State and
Ooh, boy.
Kentucky,
LSU, Florida
Mercer at Ole
State.
Miss, barn burner.
LSU, Florida State, and then Florida,
South Carolina
Utah.
and North Carolina should be played every year.
I agree. Tennessee, Virginia is one of
Oh.
those combinations of teams that
Fuck. I hate that.
New Mexico.
Do we not
A&M.
play in week 1 next year?
no,
They just haven't decided.
no,
yet.
they decided y'all ain't
Oh,
playing.
Southeast Louisiana.
Oh, that's good.
Y'all ain't playing next year.
That would be a very cruel way to say we're not in the SEC.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
You got relegated.
Yeah, it was like you used to go up to the roster
Yeah.
in middle school or high school, and if your name was on the fuck. I'm cut.
Oh, that is, boy, that I forgot how ruthless.
I don't know if that exists anymore.
Probably
doesn't,
not,
no.
but that is
It'd be marked as
that was a
bullying nowadays.
ruthless way to do those things.
On Thursday, we will get more into the slate. We will dive in. Again, we will be in Tennessee this weekend for the Barstool College Football
1:30
Show.
at the Hill.
1:30 at the Hill. We'll all be there.
Macrodosing,
Brandon
bussin'.
will not be throwing helmets.
I don't care about any of those other shows. They don't matter to me at all. I care about one show only, and it is, of course,
Pate
wrestling.
show?
I knew where that was
Check
going.
out the interview with MJF. It's over.
Doing numbers.
I'm concerned because last time I did big numbers, they canceled it. So I'm probably doing too many big numbers for this company. So,
Well, wrestling people are crazy in a good way.
yep,
That's a good thing.
I do shows for crazy fan bases. College football, wrestling,
Yeah.
Gambling. So
yak.
think about that.
Yes,
167.
All
All
of it.
four of
all
your
my people are crazy.
demographics. Wrestling, college football, gambling, and the fucking yak. Mm-hmm. Good for you.
The craziest fan bases out there. Casey Smith, that's unnecessary roughness.